IG Defense Briefing. Rebranded and reinvigorated. Fire for fire.
Payment method: www.abcambertv.com/donate. ABC Amber TV payment channels: Cash App 202-650-2216, Zelle 240-486-8768, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. PayPal payments at abcambertv.com. Contact us today. info@abcambertv.com. Facebook, ABC Ambazonia. You can call us on 124-048-68768, www.abcambertv.com. Payment method: www.abcambertv.com/donate. ABC Amber TV payment channels: Cash App 202-650-2216, Zelle 240-486-8768, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. PayPal payments at abcambertv.com. Contact us today. info@abcambertv.com. Facebook, ABC Ambazonia. You can call us on 124-048-68768, www.abcambertv.com.
Ambazonians, una good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm a commissioner for Home Front. Yes. For all restorational forces for Home Front, we agree to now. For all restorational forces for Home Front, we agree to now. This music, I appreciate all the men and women who they stand strong for Home Front. And today, we declare Operation No Drop Home Front. I say we declare Operation No Drop Home Front. We can inform all the units for Home Front. Say effective the 20th of February, that's on Monday. No unit will keep any drug within themselves, and nobody will be allowed to take any drug. When they talk of waiting, any drug substance will make you confused. You know, go take up. So all assistant commander them for all the unit them, and I will be in charge. We'll make sure say everybody under that unit, nobody will use any drug substance. We go make it populate ahead. We don't win like public. Now the one who use medication and drugs them, but they fool us. We will get confused. So effective the 20th, that's February 20th, that's Monday 2023. Operation No Drug in Ambazonia. All the fighting units them, and I get from today Saturday, Sunday for take the drugs them. If we do for a possession, we'll get back for the owner them or for trash up. Anybody where they keep drug on the behalf, you will tell me I can take a drug within 48 hours. Because by Monday, in no garage actually go inside the drug day. You will trash up the toilet. I say you go put up a toilet. So all the unit them in the 13 counties, 61 LGA. Anybody where get drug for a possession, you go call the owner, make can take a drug. We're not gonna be interested to use drug. Anybody where you go sell any drug, we're not gonna arrest you, we're not gonna shoot you. Anybody where you gonna come for neighborhood can they sell drugs them? Those drugs that the people they populate, we're not gonna hold you. When I say anybody where you go can they sell drugs them? Or a neighborhood they make a mobile populate, we're not gonna hold you. As we the fight to go for Boya, we'll stay focused. We need a country, a disciplined people. We need a country with a focused people, focused mind and focused brain. We no longer get the country where we get people where they drug to control them or alcohol to control them. As we the march to go, they send a shout out to May County, they send a shout out to May County, send a shout out to Mezam, to Ndian, to Manyu, to Fako, to Libialem, all the country them. Send a shout out to all of them. When they stand strong, prepare for enemy eye. We come for tell when I say we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready in the weeks or days ahead. The next announcement will go come. When the next announcement go come, all go move that same direction. I'll be ready days ahead or weeks ahead. For the next announcement will go come. Country as a whole, all go move in that direction. To God be the glory. As the march to go, we're gonna not forget Operation Drug Free from Ambazonia. Mami and Papa them, if you be say you carry drugs and carry sell them for our kingdom and our brothers and sisters, they made they smoke them, that they get drunk, that they get high, they die quick. If we see you say that drug again, so from Monday, February 20th, nobody go get any drug, smoke them, drink them, overdo anything. The only medicine if you drink, and medicine will make you if you get wound, you drink it make you well. If you get headache, you drink medicine, you make you well. We don't want any illegal medicine. We France not stand up for like they can poison me for ground. We thank Una and they thank all the genuine restorational fighters in home front. When I don't forget that our people don't take various agent them, put inside various unit them. When the time reach, when they say the movie sell business know the pass, they'll go give themselves for this other center. They'll go hand over themselves. When they hand over themselves, and with time the enemy will help or kill them. The enemy themselves. Make when they match to go, we agree to now. Until then, make Una stay blessed and stay focused.
Good evening and welcome to this very special Saturday where we have a lot lined up in stock for you. I am Star Smart and Onyo Opala is here with me.
All right, yes, you're welcome. I'm sure that you are ready to draft. All right, with so much excitement, this evening we have a lot in stock for you. Coming out right after now is the IG Defense briefings. And right after that, we would have the pre-draft show. After the pre-draft show, we have the draft show proper, all right? And while we are there, we would have the president's address. Of course, he will definitely address the nation before the draft starts. So I'm sure that even if you want to miss every other thing, you wouldn't want to miss the president's speech, which is where the draft will begin. But before we get into that, we have some fresh reports that would help us delve into defense briefings tonight. And in defense briefings tonight, we have so many commentators tonight. We have Commander Willie, we have SOS Zama, we have Commander Fumbath, we have Commander Kenneth, all for defense briefing. All right, but before we get into defense briefing proper, we have some fresh reports that will give us some foundation set right before defense briefing. And that will bring you in a jiffy. Stay with us.
We the people, ABC Amber TV, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. The voice of the voiceless, the voice of Ambazonia, connecting the world from Africa. With untold stories, Africa's best.
The media greatly influences society. They inform people about what is happening. It permeates people's lives by creating their own criteria and opinions. In this way, the media moves the masses, creating different social movements.
For over 60 years, the people of Ambazonia were deprived of such privileges. The privilege to enhance their own criteria and opinion. They have suffered cultural genocide for 6 long decades, but not.
Good day, fellow Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians. Today na Saturday, April the 15th, 2023. This one now a spokesman Gabonese for the ARF for all the 13 counties, and Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council for home front. Fellow Ambazonians, I come this morning and sent 21% gun salute for all our field marshals, generals, commanders, colonels, and foot soldiers, where they fight so hard for defend Amazonia from the hands of French Cameroon, barbaric and terrorist soldiers sent by Paul Biya, Hitler, Bill Vaudou, Barthélemy, the terrorists sponsored by France and some other criminal Western nations. Fellow Amazonians, I come this morning to inform all Amazonians, said today, Saturday, April the 15th, now the D-Day for the electric draft, where we support the federal government for Amazonia, for push the war to the next level. Fellow Amazonians, we know, say French Cameroon, they will declare war on Amazonians. But now 7 years today, we still fight this war, keep counting. We not give French Cameroon any second chance. Fellow Amazonians, I call upon all Amazonians, all world sympathizers, may we not come together today for support the federal government and for support the federal draft. May we sponsor our ARF and all Amazonian freedom fighters where they for home front. May we push the fight to the next level. Fellow Amazonians, we don't lose more than 100,000 Amazonians. Many they live for mass grave. They don't burn down our villages. Our brothers they serve for refugees for in and out of the country. Fellow Amazonians, we there for the hard way, and it's the only way. Southern Cameroons must be liberated, and Amazonia must be free. Nothing more, nothing less. I come this morning for plead for all Amazonians. Say we the fighters for home front will go through difficulties, and we appreciate all Amazonians whether they try on daily basis for support we for home front. Make we keep on the support we financially. We dedicate our life for defend our people. We call upon all Amazonians. Say make we come out here, we come in our numbers. Make we draft for the Atlantic County. Make we support, we brave warriors them. We don't determine. Say boya now final bus stop. And salute Amazon again once more. So when I know this fight, now 7 years still counting, but we go fight until one man standing, nothing more, nothing less. We're gonna struggle by all possible means, all Amazonians for all over the world. We're gonna come together. We're gonna support the federal system and the federal government for Amazonia. We're gonna push the fight to the next level. We're gonna come one, we're gonna come all together. Collectively, we go free Amazonia. Shake Inode, Boya, now final bus stop. Shall live the struggle. May God bless Amazonia.
Payment method: www.abcambertv.com/donate. ABC Amber TV payment channels: Cash App 202-650-2216, Zelle 240-486-8768, Amazonia Broadcasting Corporation. PayPal payments at abcambertv.com. Contact us today. info@abcambertv.com. Facebook ABC Ambazonia. You can call us on 124-048-68768. www.abcambertv.com.
All right, let's go to the first report for today. Now, let's look at the Colonial Tico Council as they all become frosters. Right, so the Colonial Tico Council has decided to increase the suffering of the people in her municipality. People already paralyzed by the ongoing conflict in Amazonia are together being forced out of their source of livelihood by one of theirs, the anyhow slave mayor of the Tico Council. Mobile money operators are today out of business and stranded as the Colonial Tico Council made away with their kiosks. The council raised the tax on kiosks from 50,000 francs to 150,000 francs, As the operators are unable to pay this new taxed amount, the Colonial Council decided on Tuesday, that's April 11, 2023, to carry away their kiosks, leaving the operators frustrated. The question is, why the increase in the tax on mobile money kiosks? What will become of all these mobile money operators now?
Interesting question. Well, authorities of the Colonial Tico Council have carried away mobile money kiosks dismantled following a tax increase that mobile money operators are reportedly unable to pay. Caterpillars operated by Tico Council were captured on camera Tuesday, April 11th, carrying the kiosk away. These kiosks were dismantled on Sunday, April 9th, 2023.
Well, the Colonial Council had imposed a tax increase of 150,000 francs CFA for mobile money and call box operators, which were initially 50,000 francs. Most of the operators have expressed frustrations, lamenting that the amount was too high for a small business like theirs.
Well, another interesting report everywhere on the social media is that one of falsifications of participation in an unknown come together. A certain group of individuals who are organizing a conference somewhere in Belgium, but in their promotion outfits, they would include faces of even those that are not consulted. Lady Ken Callister happens to be one of those who has the pictures on part of the people who will be part of this come together. The flyer that was released a couple of days ago created controversy within the Muslim community.
Well, some Amazonians are surprised then to see that the press secretary will be featuring in an activist conference or come together that is not endorsed by the interim government. In fact, they were enraged. Now, the significance of this explains what the consequences is all about and the reaction of Amazonian people. And that tells you how they feel about the individuals who are organizing this conference and how they feel about the conference itself.
But an important question here is, why are these people putting up images of people who are not part of them? This clearly is another strategy to create confusion amongst Amazonians. But luckily, Lady KC has reacted and just in time before more Amazonians believe the false flyer and get confused. Lady Casey Ken Clister expresses outrage seeing her name and picture on the flyers of the Belgian Conference of Scammers, saying, "I'm outraged by a flyer below making rounds on social media with my picture and name on it. The flyer with supposed intention of inviting Amazonians to a certain gathering dubbed AAAC1 does not have my consent nor approval. I was never consulted by these individuals. I was never consulted by the organizers of these events, and my endorsement is surely not needed by individuals who have never required the opinions of goodwill Amazonians nor submitted themselves to public consensus for their several acts of sabotage against the interim government's leadership and the people's liberation struggle. Consequently, I wish to disassociate myself from this uncivilized venture and ill-conceived initiative. The organizers do not need my blessings in any form to advance their crafts and or revolutionary activities, as the case may be." She says, lastly, as a believer of statehood, may I state here that anything divorced from the structure, legitimacy, processes of government represented by the interim government leadership of Comrade President Samuel Sako does not have my blessing. This was signed by Comrade Ken Clister to the falsification of a participation in this unlicensed come together.
Well, activist Ochiba Nelson also reacted to the so-called gathering of individuals calling themselves activists, and this is what he writes. He says, according to our sources, after recruiting 1,000 ghost profiles to fight Amazonia online, La République du Cameroon has disturbed 883 millions. Let's say La République du Cameroon has distributed 83 million francs CFA, excluding flight and hotel bills, to sponsor Amazonian Activist Conference in Belgium for a 2 days workshop on how to fight President Sako and the interim government. Not just fighting them, but also crumble Amazonians and ensure a return to normalcy within one Cameroon. Aftermath of the workshop shall be marked by a rigorous social propaganda and fight against genuine Amazonian restorationists. He says, let the Thomases ask themselves, 1. Where do activists who embezzled Amazonian money seek monies to pay flight and expensive hotel bills? 2. Activists who can draft $10 have suddenly gathered money to the tune of 83 million francs CFA for a 2 day workshop. 3. Just like APNT and the Canadian Talks expedition, the question is, who is the sponsor for flights, venue, feeding, and so many others? He ended it with Fier La Republique to Cameroon. Well, of course, more details will come forward and we'll definitely bring that to you.
Well, this is not the first try of Confucianists to frustrate the struggle, but as always, it's a continuously failed attempt. Under the very last report, unidentified gunmen, consequences of not responding to the ghost town.
While unidentified gunmen in the government capital of Amazonia in the early hours of Monday morning, the 4th of April, got into a gun battle. We reported that 4 vehicles were burnt and 1 person killed during the gun battle and crossfire. Our intelligence in FACO reportedly planned the mission to target Blacklegs working with Moja Moja. You already know what Moja Moja has been doing so far. Well, we are told the culprit violated Monday lockdown. So, as an example, they were set on those drinking at the bar and vehicles set on fire because of their complicity. Information on who carried out the action is still ongoing, by the way, and we'll definitely get details of this report from the representatives of the FACO Action Force or the FACO Security Team, but we will definitely update you in that respect soonest.
Well, as reported, the 4 vehicles were burned and 1 person killed during the gun battle. At press time, it was unclear if the action was carried out by Amazonian freedom fighters or colonial French-speaking gunmen and their militia based in Boya. For more than 5 years, Mondays are widely respected as ghost towns in Amazonia, and as we've also reported, at the beginning of the Amazonian resistance, it was actively respected by the people, later enforced by freedom fighters, and in the past few years by colonial forces. The colonial authorities, who largely enjoy the economy of war, are not yet ready for any peaceful negotiations, unfortunately.
Well, that's not all. A visit by a Canadian envoy was at the last minute cancelled by the colonial authorities in Yaoundé. Now, the cancellation of the visit came after French Cameroon backed out of Canada-mediated pre-talks that took place between the French Cameroon's colonial representatives and Amazonians in Canada. Well, that's all we have for tonight for Fresh Reports. Now let's bring you defense briefings.
IG Defense Briefing. Rebranded and reinvigorated. Fire for fire. IG Defense Briefing. Rebranded and reinvigorated. Fire for fire.
Greetings, fellow Amazonians, viewers of ABC Amba Television. You are welcome yet to another program of Defense Briefing. We are sorry for the late start. The panel is full today. We will soon get going as we prepare for our draft this evening, which we are calling on all Amazonians to get and participate. We are sorry we couldn't make it due to circumstances beyond our control. I can see my panelists. They are all intact. Oh, I can see my SOS, not in the usual attire. We are proud of you. I'm proud of you guys. It's happy seeing you guys on set today. Yeah, fellow Ambazonians, 21 gun salute to all our AROFs on the ground, all protocol respected on the ground, from the field marshals right down to the foot soldiers in the barrack. We send our salute, this panel send their salute to you for the marvelous work that you guys are doing on the ground. Equally 21 gun salute on all on home front for your continuous resistance, your resilient. We are proud of you guys. We know if they say we are heading to Boya, this is the never again generation. There is nothing that is going to stop us. Fellow Ambazonians, as usual, the Friends Briefing will be bringing you update on all the actions, all the happenings. I think now for the past 2 weeks, because we were not there last week. So this last week and this week, we'll be giving you all the updates. The team is set. We'll go straight to the SOS to first of all introduce himself, give a small brief, and then maybe we'll just go around. The other commanders will be taking. Then Commander Kenneth will go into the details of actions of the week. And then the topic that we have for today, we are going to discuss and we are going to elaborate on certain issues. You know, it's rebranding the ARF and their significance at home front, which is very important. You are all welcome, commanders and the SOS. SOS, you have the mic. SOS, can you get me? SOS, can you get me?
Yeah, Comrade Paul, it seems you can't hear you.
Can somebody get me now? Commander Kenneth, can you get me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Comrade Paul. I can hear you loud and clear. 5 on 5.
Okay, then Commander Willie will start. Then, yeah, Commander Willie, you can start. Then the SOS. So when he's, I think he's having a connection problem.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Commander
Good
Willie.
morning. Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, fellow Ambazonian. This is your Commissioner for Home Front, Commissioner Willie, stepping in for defense briefing. So as we move forward, we'll be explaining to you and opening your eyes and shining the light on where the war is going. Over to you, Commander Paul.
Next on the list, I think we have Commander Kenneth. Can we get you on the mic?
Yeah. Thank you, Comrade Paul. Yeah, this is Kenneth, the spokesman for the ANC. Fellow televiewers, I want to welcome you for today's edition of the Saturday's defense briefing. For those who have been following us regularly, we want to thank you and want to ask you that today's a special day. Apart from the defense briefing, we'll be having the draft, the Atlantic draft. So we're asking you all to rally around and help our government so that we can do what we do best, which is keep the enemy out of our territory. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, we want to thank you and we ask you to share the link. Share the link so that those that are out there may know about this briefing, they know about what we are doing, so that they may join us and get part of and hear from us what is happening on the home front. So thank you, and Over to you, Comrade Paul.
Yeah, Commander Fombat, it's been a while. You have not been with us. You're welcome on this platform. The mic is yours.
I don't log out
Can you hear me?
and log in.
Okay,
But I'm not
okay,
even in
okay. The SOS is on right now.
Okay, I'm not even in the studio.
Yeah, Fombat, you just hold on.
No.
SOS,
SOS, we can hear
SOS,
you
we
now.
can get you. Can SOS? Okay, then
SOS Zama.
Fombat,
SOS Zama, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes, SOS Zama, we can hear
you.
I'm not getting a feedback from the studio.
Okay, Commander,
Everything is
Commander
here on my
Fombat,
side.
please. Commander Fombat.
Yeah, can you hear me, dear panelists? Can you hear me? Am I heard? Right, everywhere just gone quiet. Hello? Can anyone hear me?
The Fombat, we can get you right on.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, dear panelists. Welcome, Ambazonian people. This August day. I think this day we have all been so anxious to see it come, and make sure we all come in there, support our government, the war draft, so we can help our people save lives. We can help our people secure Ambazonian for all of us. We can help the fighters achieve or get what they really need, desire to kick La Republic out. So this is going to be a special defense briefing, and we are calling on every Ambazonian, especially our people from Fako, from Meme, from Bian, from Dunga, one other county, to log in the Zoom at 8 p.m. Amber time. Let us give these forces on the ground a reason to smile, courage, a reason to use against La Republic. It is today, and today is a desire day. We have all been expecting all of us to log in, so don't miss. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commander Fombat. And we hear from the SOS. I don't know if it's technical. Okay, if it has not been,
Yeah, SOS Zama, can you hear us? SOS Zama.
So, Commander Kenneth, please, can you take over with the program? Action on home. Can we ride on? We don't have much time today.
Yeah, we don't have much time. It's okay. That's fine. I'll go ahead with that. Let's just start with.
Thank you.
Giving a 21 God salute to all our ARFs on the home front, because the work they're doing a formidable job. Ever since we started from the beginning of this year, there has not been a week that we've come here and had nothing to report on with what the casualties that the enemies they are facing on the home front. We did promise that we are going to turn things around, and yes, what we are doing is turning things around on the home front. It might be happening in some specific areas right now, but it doesn't mean that we are not planning or trying to do things in the other areas that maybe nothing is. They have not witnessed some action for some time. So we've been consistent we've been consistent with action on the home front. So it is in that regard that I want to look back at the activities of for the last 2 weeks. So let me start with, first of all, what happened with, I think there was a report that we just made concerning the a few cars, maybe 4 cars and an individual, a civilian, or we don't know, we cannot really term him a civilian, we don't know what in what capacity, because there are a lot of black publics going around in Mufti. A civilian that, somebody in Mufti that was brought down. There were 4, there were 4 cars that were burnt, and there was probably a person that was also brought down in that attack. Probably due to some provocations, or I'll just allow that because it did happen in Fako. Commander Combat will brief us more on that. Also in Fundong, there were also 2 people. We saw that there were 2 people that were also brought down in Fundong. There was some confrontation with maybe some gunmen, and there were 2 people that were brought down. Now, I want to take this opportunity again just to give a warning out there. Those that, for the blacklegs, those that have been collaborating with the enemy, those that have been bringing people into our houses, those that have been leading the enemies to our forces, those that have been leading the enemy to kill our people. The thing is, we've had enough of your network. We've been working on that. We are not warning anybody again. There is nothing of that sort. What we do right now is we are going after anybody who is working hand in hand with the enemy. We have that network, we have their names already. So if it happens that you have any links with the enemy and you have decided to maintain those links, well, it's just a matter of time. Amazonia, as we've started this, whatever we've started our journey to go here, there's nothing that will stop us. If you think that you are working with the enemy, as I said earlier, well, it's just a matter of time. If any of these persons that were brought down during the weekend on the 10th, if any of them had any links with those enemies, because right now we are still investigating. If any of them had some links with the enemies, then it's also another warning to those that maybe are out there still collaborating with the enemy. Okay. There was also that was in Maizam. We saw that there was a bike rider that was brought down with a mother that was also on the bike, and all of that it happened because of this feeling of invincibility that the terrorists have in our territory. Whenever they come in, they feel that our people, they should be treated like shit. We don't have a right to exist. They feel that they're the only ones. When they come in, we should lie down for them to go around and do whatever, commit the atrocities. So these were innocent civilians that were on their daily activities, going about their daily activities, and their lives were cut short by the terrorists from that public. We did see the bike riders. They came in their numbers. They came out in their numbers, and there was a strike. But it seems as if instead of the terrorists coming to beg and maybe seek for forgiveness, they came out maybe in a show of force. But all of that will end. Thank you for the images. Those are the images we're having right now on the screen. Thank you, Comrade Paddy. So we'll say, as we're saying, all of that will have to stop. Our ARFs, they have a specific task at hand. They have to make sure that these people, they sign into their body bags, because they have to sign into their body bags and then be transported back across the Congo. From there on, let's move on to some action from some of our counties. So we start with Bui. On April the 8th, we had there was a convoy of the terrorists heading to Bui. This convoy actually came here, I think, yeah. So we had this convoy that was coming into our territory and met our forces, of our ever-ready forces. They had an IED in which it was planted somewhere along the road. So they stepped on it and their personnel carrier was shattered to pieces. We want to give a 21-gun salute to these fighters, because actually the fighters in Wainama and most of Bui, the rest, and then I mean the whole of Bui, the fighters, they are doing a formidable job. We want to thank them. And this ANSC and this interim government, we are giving them a 21 gun salute. The vehicle that had that was being carried, as I said earlier, in Wainama was seriously, I mean, the personnel carriers, they were seriously damaged. There was also, I think there was a construction equipment that was being transported along the convoy that was being led by the terrorists from La Republic. From information we gathered, that particular equipment also received some significant damage. So we are by this telling the terrorists from La Republic, they still have an open window. Let them pack their things and leave. There hasn't been a week whereby they don't sign into their body bags and leave our territory. Please, they should leave. And then we have to let me go on to just still the same in Bui on April the 11th. There was also another convoy that was sneaking into our territory. They were sneaking in at night, and this particular convoy also met with our ARS who were ready and waiting for them, because we had made this announcement here over and over again. The ARFs, our fighters are everywhere across the territory. They are everywhere. There is no particular location where you will not find them. If at any point they decide to stay back, maybe it is as a result of them not wanting to endanger the lives of the civilians. But wherever the terrorists are on our territory, they should understand that they are under the vigilant eyes of our ARFs, and at any time they'll be taken out. So these terrorists, they came in at night and thought that maybe they could find their way, maybe that our ARFs were asleep or something of that sort. So not knowing that they had seen them all along, driving in their convoy, and it was rather unfortunate for them. And they drove over an IED that took out their personnel carrier. On that same axis, in the same SOP, we also had another general, one of our generals that went on a direct confrontation with the enemy. And from the information we got, that a lot of the enemies signed into their body bags, and they will be transported, and they have been transported back to La Republic across the Mungu. So we want to, let me go also, the last, I think there was another one in Gokitunjia. That was yesterday, the 14th. Our forces had a direct confrontation with the enemies, in which at least 5 of them were brought down. Five were brought down, and a lot more were injured. I think their injuries were life-threatening, because from the information we got, it was that was very close confrontation that they had, in which our ARFs from Gokutuja, actually we're talking about the Jaguars of Pamisa, they overpowered the terrorists, and at least 5 of them, I repeat, 5 were brought down. Information reaching us today was that they did come in again. The terrorists came in again, and but we are still trying to get the details of what happened when they came in. Okay, let me take us back to the another give us some briefing on the Bui again. Actually, what we've heard is that the information we've got is that the terrorists from La Republic, they go into some of our hospitals, like the BBH and so on. They go in there trying to see if they could find some of Amber Boys. But the end result is that they end up pulling a lot of our civilians from their beds, taking them to unknown destinations. If you're a young man, you're in the hospital, they pull you out of the hospital. We want to tell them to desist from this. The Amber Boys are there, they are ever ready. They should stop prying on our innocent civilians. If they have got the balls, let them face the Amber Boys, the ARFs, excuse me. And Also, we want to talk about their presence. They still have quite a significant number of the terrorists in Bui. We want to tell our forces to be on high alert. Let them know that the terrorists are very, very much around Bui in their numbers. So what they should know is that they should be ready 24/7, 24/7, and do what they were trained to do. Take them out at the least opportunity you've got. Take them out. And I think just in Bowie County alone, for the past 2 weeks, we've had at least 15 of them that we brought down. There was another video whereby I think there was a video, I don't know, or there were some photos whereby they were lying in front of a lot of them that went that did survive some of our attack. Some of our attacks were sleeping and languishing in front of their brigades, and that is just another sign. That's another warning. That's another warning. We are just telling them that being in our territory at any time they will be taken out. Yes, those are the photos. Thank you, Comrade. Yeah, we can see them there on the screen. After those are the few they did survive, but some of them are severely injured. So those that did not make it up to this point, they were carried, they signed into their body bags, and they were sent back across the Congo. We will continue. The ARS will continue doing what they're doing, and let the enemy know. Let the enemy know that we have control over our territory, and until we get to Buea, if they are the obstacles we are facing, we'll do what we do best: kick them out of the way. Buea is our final destination. Thank you, Comrade Paul. I think that's the defense briefing that we've got for this week. Thank you.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, Comrade Paul, we cannot hear you. I think you're having a problem with your with your device. We cannot hear you. Check your microphone again, please.
We cannot hear.
No, we can't hear you. Okay. I think Comrade Paul, can you try again? No, we can't hear you. No. No. Okay. While we are waiting on Comrade Paul to take care of his this new microphone, I think let's get back to the SOS. SOS Zama. SOS Zama, can you hear us, please? Can you hear us now?
Yes,
SOS
sir.
Zama. Okay. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. Yeah, I think we have missed maybe some. We've missed you. We tried to get through to you. I think you're having a problem with your device. So please, we would like you to throw a little bit of light on some of the activities of the week. I think you did listen to them. I would just like you to maybe throw a little bit of light and let our people, know what, what we are going through from the defense perspective. After that, we'll have to go to Comrade Willie. Comrade Zaman, can you hear us? SOS Zaman.
I can barely hear you.
Oh. Okay. What I was saying is that I think you've listened to the briefing from the home front, the defense briefing from the home front. Can you throw in some light on that, please? Can you hear me? What about you, Comrade Paul? Oh, no. Okay. Comrade Willie, can you come in Can you come in, please?
Commander,
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Commander Kenneth,
yes.
can you get me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you
Paul.
now. Yes. Comrade Paul, I can hear you now. Please go on.
Commander Willie, you can continue. We talk on how we are on home front, but please, before we get to that topic, I wanted Commander Fombard out. We saw this action, I think in Munia. So I don't know, Commander Fombard, can you give us an?
Okay.
Yeah,
It seems as if
you.
we've lost you again. We've lost you again, Comrade Paul. Yeah, what he was saying is that I think, Commander Fombard, please, the issue, I think can you throw in some light on the incident that took place in Fako, where the forecast were burnt and we had maybe one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. I think SOS Zama just locked in and he's backing. We don't know if you want to go first before I come in. Let us try and see if he's live now. Can SOS hear us?
No, you.
Okay, let's proceed.
First, the SOS. Yeah. Thank
you. It was on Monday. It was on Monday for the normal Congress Sunday. You know, our people of Fako, these people are so dear to us because they are Amazonians. But it seems as if though they have become so confident and comfortable with the presence of the terrorists on our streets. And I want to beckon Amazonians to know, without bias, that a lot of our people in this county are collaborating with the enemy. I don't know if other counties are having this challenge, but in Fako, this is what I can vehemently, audaciously pronounce, because we have observed in several occasions. We have tried our best to educate our people to understand that the Ghost Town Mondays is a traditional day of resistance that was born in the days of the consortium. That is a symbol that we have put in front of this struggle for the international community to know that we control our territory. La République, we have nothing to do. We don't take orders from the colonizer. But with the presence of the enemies and the colonial administrators in this county, especially Victoria and the Boya Stretch, have become sellouts. I'm talking to the denizens of Aku. On the 16th, is the correct point that is over at night 16. The valiant and the fearless soldiers of Aku ambushed that checkpoint. And in the course of that ambush, one AK-47 was confiscated from the enemy and one of their terrorists down. Several others were wounded. After that show, because that show took place as early as about 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning. And as the boys were willing to retreat, they saw taxi drivers flying on the street on a Monday traditional ghost town. That was where it provoked those fighters. It provoked those ARF. And they decided to retaliate. I don't hold any grudge against them. Any violators of the land, of the laws, must be brought to book. This is what our people must know. This is in consideration that we have over 1 million people as refugees, internally and externally. We have over 2,000 people in prison. We have over 50,000 people that have died and are buried. We are not ready to sacrifice them for nothing. Those boys are not ready to sacrifice their mothers, sacrifice their properties, sacrifice their brothers and sisters for for a handful of people who think they can go against or they can become sellouts overnight, or they can be feeding fat from the crumbs from the La Republic table. That we will say no. And going forward, I will continue. We of the Fako County, the Federal Capital Territory, will continue to educate our people to understand that when they say lockdown, it means lockdown. When we say ghost town, it means ghost town. It is one day, just one day in a week. We have 6 days to exploit. 6 days in a week to exploit. Do all you can. Farm all your farms. Open all your businesses. Gather all the momentum and all the resources that you can gather within 6 days. We have given you just one day. 1 day that you should sit at home, probably pray, probably fast, probably just in a sense of belonging or supporting this movement for your independence. I think in a nutshell, that was what happened. And unfortunately, this conspirator, this sellout, Chris Ano, is probing some innuendos, some pseudo individual with the name Gangstar or something. A fighter or a name that has never existed in Baku, simply because he wants to take glory for his failed fundraising that was organized. And he wants that for the chicken change that he collected from the people, you should assume that he's the one that carried action in Baku. This is, and it will never happen provided we are present in Baku. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Commander Fombat, for that update. Yeah, we know Chris Ano, as usual, he has no potential. He only needs to raise the money and he's siphoned. That is why he cannot give an account of the 133,000 US dollars he collected from the interim government up to today. He cannot even pronounce the name of that so-called friend that he brought to collect this money. So any fundraising he makes, any action on the ground, what do you expect? He directs it. He claims it so that the money disappears from the coffers. We have earlier said Chris Ano is a thief and he remains a thief in the Ambazonia revolution. He is an opportunist who at the slightest opportunity puts his hand up. Ambazonia, know who are your true liberators. Know that. Thank you very much. We go to our next SOS. Are you there? Can you hear us? We need to hear your voice.
Yes,
Tonight
sir.
is a special night in the defense. Yeah, thank you. You have the mic, SOS. So many actions, and we need to hear
Yes,
from
thank you. Thank you, Comrade Paul. Can you hear me?
5 on 5, I can get you.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me for the show this afternoon. I just want to thank Amazonians for standing
It's
to
my
the test of
pleasure.
time, standing to face the enemy with the bull's eye. Um, we are at war, and we've been at war for the last 7 years, and we want our citizens to know that, because those of us who are abroad, some people might feel this war is over, it's been won by whoever side they choose. but we are still at war. The enemy is still knocking at the doors and gates of citizens of Amazonia and taking them out and disappearing them. But we are putting a dent in that army that's coming to kill our citizens. The La Republic de Cameroon soldiers, they are recruiting from every nick and cranny now in French Cameroon. I think they've run out of real men to fight this war, and they are going down into the crypts, probably into the nurseries to pick up kids to come and fight this war for them. We will stand the test of time, and we will face them and battle with them, whoever they bring to Amazonia. Amazonia shall be free by truth, by force, or whatever means that it's going to be. We are going to be free. And this generation is not going to let things slide like before. We are here to help forces back home to stand up, to fight back, and to take out the enemy in any direction that they are going. We have areas in Amazonia that the enemy dare not go there, and they know that they are going to buoy. They're gonna come back with lots of massacre, lots of casualties, and probably fatalities. But they still go. We will not relent, and I want to say, we warriors. Um, all our soldiers in Manyo, in Kumba, in the Meme area, in Ngoketunja, in Bali, and all the other areas that are facing the enemies. I just want to say, hallelujah, the day is coming when this fight is going to be over. And somebody will ask you, how long is too long? Not too long, I will say. And I look forward to having a great show with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Comrade Paul, your microphone. We cannot hear you again. Comrade Paul.
And we will fight. Yeah, are you getting me now? We will fight till we get to Buya.
Yes.
Thank you, SOS. Thank you, SOS, for that brief words of encouragement. Yeah, we'll go to Commander Willie. Commander Willie, are you there?
Yeah, always present.
Okay, thank you very much, Commander Willie.
Yeah, my respect to you, gentlemen, for a job well done. I want to thank you people for stepping forward and for giving us the briefing on the ground on all the 13 county and the 61 LG. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our military. Before we continue, I will give you this important information for all restorational forces on the ground. This is your commissioner, home front. If anybody call with this number ending in 261594, don't pick up. That number belongs to La Republic. La Republic have stolen the phone of one of our AROFs and is using it to their advantage. So the number ending with 261594, that number belongs to La Republic. So don't pick it up and don't answer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we use the connotation on this show. AROF means Ambazonia Restorational Forces. AROF means Ambazonia Restorational Forces. These are men and women in Ambazonia who are standing tall, standing strong, standing high to fight to restore the stolen wood of Ambazonia. Ambazonia is invaded by French Cameroon, that our panelists, they call them terrorists because they are killing us and killing our civilian population. That's why they call them terrorists. In Ambazonia, we do not have Amba Boys who have an Ambazonia Restorational Forces. The connotation Amba Boys, they are supported and sponsored by French Cameroon that have asked to infiltrate us. In Ambazonia, we have it Ambazonia Restorational Forces. And the motto for Ambazonia Restorational Forces is, we'll light our candle and fight to liberate the oppressed. Our motto as Ambazonia Restorational Forces is, we will light together, we will light our candle and fight to free the oppressed. In our common language, we say, light my candle, she shake no day. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, now we've gotten the briefing from our fellow comrades on the ground on all 13 county. Not just about the briefing, that's important. And we want to talk about the loss of what is going on the home front. For the past 2 weeks, Cameroon government, they have lost 6 armor cars They have lost 6 armor cars, 4 of them being FV 432 armor personal transport carrier. They have lost that car. One of those cars cost 50 million CFA francs. With tax, you are looking at 17 million CFA francs. And they have lost 6 of them, coming to a total of 10.10 million that they have lost just for 2 armor cars. Now, as a total for the 6, you do the maths. You are looking at 110 million CFA francs that they have lost for those armor cars. And they lost 3 Caterpillar. They have lost 3 Caterpillar that were escorting some of those armor cars to go board those roads so that they can enter inside our territory and kill our people. One of those Caterpillars is 40 million CFA francs. So they lost 3. So out of those 3, including tax, you are looking at 120 million CFA francs, plus the other armor personnel carrier that they have lost, come to a total of 300 million CFA francs that they have lost for these 2 weeks. Yes, that's what Cameroon government have lost. Not to talk of human loss, the number is unbearable. Not to talk of medical loss, the number is unbearable. At this time, Cameroon government cannot get any help from any other country. And what they have done, they have gone to neighborhoods inside Amazonia. They have stolen Amazonia trucks from people. They have painted them with Cameroon military uniforms. And now they are putting armor roofed and protection around those cars. Like this one, you see, when they bring to our area, it's blown off. That's just a normal Hilux that they stole from Amazonians. They steal it. Yes, they enter inside our neighborhood and steal our trucks. They paint them with green and yellow, and then they carry them, come back to Amazonia to kill us. They've run out of money, of option. Now, we should not forget, we're sending an announcement to those agents of La République du Cameroon. We call them La République, but we'll specify Cameroon because any country can be La République. But La République du Cameroon, this goes to all the parliamentarians as well as senators, those who have come inside Amazonia and self-imposed themselves to govern us, to treat us, to maltreat us. There's a relocation order coming from the Commission of Home Front for the 13 county 61 LGA. This is a relocation order. Mommy and Papa them, they want a relocation order for anybody when a parliamentarian or senator or work for Cameroon government, mayor included. As from the 20th, that's April, 20th April, that's on Thursday, they want a relocation order. Anybody when a parliamentarian is not going to be safe inside Amazonia again. So if you get any property, you go relocate that property for your safety. Any person will stay for your house or for any your property, it is stay at your own risk. As from the 20th, anybody will catch you for inside those houses or inside those properties for those people they stay for, where they call themselves parliamentarian, you stay there, you do so at their own risk. So nobody will trespass for them, whether it be dog, it be pussy, it be cat, or it be goat. Those houses will be evacuated. And as such, the various commanders for the various LG them and the defense chiefs them, they will take total control and command for all the properties that will belong to parliamentarians and senators. Inside Amazonia, we never vote, elect, assign, or appoint any parliamentarian to represent us. Those where they go for Yaoundé or for Douala for any capacity for represent Amazonia them, they do so at their own risk. We're there for war zone, and as such, we not get Amazonia not get the capacity and the capability to protect those who they self-impose themselves inside Amazonia. We look them as agents of La République and contractors. So henceforth, from the 20th of this April, if you stay for there, you do so at your own risk. Now, for civilian population, when I don't see how commander don't give us instance for home front and things that is on, we're not going to beg una, but we'll tell una say more than not involve ourselves for any operation for home front. Even I see motor go off or bomb or the bomb motor or una hear gun, make una run go students out in the house. Cameroon government may be fond of shooting the gun for up or for down or shoot anybody. When I run for Kanlukam, it will turn shoot una. When I see for Bamenda, when they be killed by people for road, people then say carry the dead body for go explain to the police or the DO, and again some of them be shot. Mommy and Papa them, we there for wartime, not time for protest. This is not the protest. This is actual war. Last but not the least, Cameroon government, the feel say, the feel come for night, for come attack we for night. But we thank God, we are members the way we will install them inside the DDR center. We are second eye the way they didn't have DDR center. Yes, we'll be telling ourselves for the beginning of this war, we'll be telling we have 2 men, them two, where they go for DDR center, where they work for this. They give intelligence on South Cameroon Army, they come, the date, the time, and the location. And as such, we'll be ready for coming out with that information. So those for the data center, where they work with us in that capacity, when they give it the intelligence, with the tank, when although not say they don't make a on the phone, but when I see use their friend their phone, they give intelligence with the tank now. Last but not the least, mommy and papa them would bring up on attention. Say as we're going to move forward, anybody where you go see something, make a report for LGA chairperson and for a commander. We don't reach for a certain level for this war, where Cameroon government not get no power again. In the days ahead, when I go see and say they go release some of our people that they kidnap and go keep them for jail for French Cameroon and for all across the territory. Mommy and papa, if you get money, no pay money for nobody when they release their picking, automatically the world they give Cameroon government stress and pressure. So when they release people the way they be kidnap or arrest them. So Cameroon government go start in the few days ahead for to say one move the next terrorists for people the way they catch them. When they go move the appellation, they go release one them. Anybody where they be kidnapped will gone for a hand where they defend itself, they go take it, send it for jail for 2 to 50 years. Now we're advising and say all our brothers and sisters they did for jail. Now when I inside jail, when I go home on ourselves, when I go home supposed to meet among ourselves. When I go prepare on ourselves very well, so that when I come out, when I go form on ourselves back, and when I go take the enemy by the horn. As we defy the goal, we're going to see images for ground, how we are restorational forces them. They stand tall, they stand high with our soldier up, they give us victory. Cameroon government, they don't be stuck in many capacity. It work enough for white man their country, they beg them, they put them back for business. Yes, when they come for business, we don't say make sure they go for French Cameroon, and make sure they come for us. We see how we are restorational forces, they don't make a make sure they go for French Cameroon, I mean, they come. When I don't see them for the past weeks, yes, they carry bags, cement them, and some sealing them, and zinc them for inside army truck them. They carry those things inside army truck them, pass enter ambassador time for go get them for some stores them. We'll still work on to that, work in progress. But with time, we will know how we will deal with those things them. But for the civilian population, where they get a civilian motor, they need to come for area again. They don't limit their. As Cameroon government, if it export things out of the country, because its highest exportation of products, raw material, or finished products, sorry, now from Amazonia. Instead of Amazon company, manufacturing company, no day, processing company, no day, where Cameroon government don't spoil them all. So they will get their zinc, aluminum, they make them for Douala, they ship them for inside Amazonia, will buy that thing. Now, so if you buy that thing again, they never stand away. So if you go for the warehouse for Douala and Yaoundé, do an effect, things they don't be stagnant for day, they never ship them out. So it don't frustrate most of them. They don't frustrate most of them. As last time, motor come up for side, one conference in Amazonia for carrying them. The family human say they so made an inner be ready to go burn the truck. So when I say and say shake no day, as we push and they go, we go push them, and push them. Last but not the least, the one of international community. We've been seeing that in a few days, diplomats are coming up and be telling on the TV that Amazonia, you want to see if we can do plebiscite or we can do this or we can do that. The answer is no. We are ready to fight till the finish line. Reason being that Cameroon government have entered inside Amazonia, kill our people, burn our houses, displace our people. If you bring any election in any capacity or any kind, they will fake it and then they'll win it. And then they'll keep us as slaves. So with this note, as we are in the year of acceleration declared by Dr. President Samuel Sarko Ikome, the only president of Amazonia, that controls and manages 61 LGA and 13 county. He's the commander-in-chief of all armed forces. He's the one organizing federal draft. He's the one taking care of the refugees. He's the one feeding and assisting those who are in jail. He's the one making policies and decisions. And he's the one calling the shots. If President Sarko says the country should shut down, he will. If he says it should open, he will. So for any talks, backdoors not involve the leadership of Dr. President Samuel Sarko Ikome, that talk is dead upon arrival. So help us God, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you very much, Commissioner Willie. I think your message has been heard loud and clear. I don't know if SOS Zama is with us.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Yeah, SOS. I think your camera is off. We can't see you, but we can hear you. Today we have the Atlantic Zone draft. Looking at the images that have been shown by our technical partner, our technician, we have seen a lot of those invading terrorists sent to join a Kemal. What do you have to tell the Amazonian people today who are prepared? Those who are not prepared, those who are willing and those who are not willing to draft tonight, what message do you have to tell them after seeing all these pictures and videos today?
Well, I think anybody who's had their head buried in the sand for the last 7 years should stay in the sand buried, because people have been suffering for 7 years. We are quick to blame the white man. We are quick to blame others for our handicaps. But this is our responsibility. The Europeans are defending Europeans. The Africans are nowhere to be found when others need help. Uh, our locals, that is Amazonians, are nowhere to be found when Amazonians need help. The past 1 year, the Ukrainians have received over $150 billion in hardware, manpower, surveillance information. But how much money have you given to Amazonia? It's often easy to say, oh, they are doing this for this country, they are doing this. It's people's tax money that they are sending to those people. For a lot of us who are funding this, who are supporting these citizens in Amazonia to fight back, the sacrifices that each one of us does. We are asking for each and every Amazonian to do their own sacrifice in their own way possible. We are not asking you to starve yourself. We are not asking you to be thrown out of your house because of non-payment. We are not asking you to send your child's tuition to the fight. But we are asking you to sacrifice something. There are things that you can do without sacrificing your lifestyle. There are things that you can do without sacrificing the future of your own kids. But the future of your own kids depend on the future of the kids in Amazonia who are not attending school because of this war. The sooner we can get this war ended, the sooner our kids can go back to their lives. But the longer you prolong this, you whine, you cry, you blame this side. Oh, these people have done that, that people have done that. It's not going to help. People lose battle tanks in the middle of the battlefield. How does the enemy capture a tank battalion and take it and use it against the other people? So people lose equipment, men, and money in fights. We are going through all that. And we should be understanding that yes, we have some difficulties, but we have to surmount it based on all the knowledge that we have. We cannot keep this going. Some people will have to sacrifice for others. And that's why we are doing what we do. Excuse me. We are doing what we do because of that. So we are asking you to contribute to this fight. No matter how well you're well off, you are here. Your mind is never here, because you will be told one day this is not your country. I quite remember somebody told me the other day, oh, here we have to have some of these rules and that rules. I don't know where you come from. Okay, they're always insinuating that you are from somewhere. You may carry a passport in this or that country, but you are not a born citizen. Even if you are born there, you are not from there. They assume you are not from there. So let's get a homeland for ourselves. Let's fight for a homeland. Let's fight for a homeland for others. Even if we don't plan to go back to Amazonia, let's fight for some other people to have peace. Let's give peace a chance for those who are there. And it's in this vein that we're going to contribute and make our own voices be heard by the people, to understand that we are out there to save them. Our parents sold a lot of land for us to find ourselves in the West. But that was not a hope for us to come and stay here. There are lots of our family members who are dying here and they cannot be taken to Amazonia because they cannot go to Amazonia. Even their corpses cannot be taken to Amazonia. So at the end of the day, we will be refugees abroad, like the Palestinians who've been abroad since 1968, since 1948, I beg your pardon. But we have to try to see to our own interest. Nobody's going to protect our interests but ourselves. We are a family of Amazonians. Nobody loves you more than your family members. So I'm asking all our citizens to put their hands in their pockets and contribute towards this war so that we can stop the carnage. We can stop the enemy from killing our people. It's just a peace. This is what people do. It's easier for somebody to say, oh, they are killing Christians in Nigeria. That's not the point. They are killing Nigerians. It's not a question of Christians. They are killing Nigerians. They are killing Amazonians. Cameroonians are not going to react to that because it doesn't affect them. Because nobody is killing. I can vouch. I don't think if anybody remembers if any French-speaking Cameroonians has been killed in Amazonia for 7 years that we are fighting this war. I don't want any of them to be killed, but it shows the discipline that our forces have. And I want everybody at least to understand that despite the adverse hardship that these boys go through, they still can maintain some level of discipline, some level of standard of military care and humanity, not to go after innocent citizens. So can you please contribute towards a fight, contribute towards peace, let me put it in reverse, contribute towards a peaceful resolution of this effort. And a peaceful resolution of this effort is basically ending the war. La Republic is not going to give up, so we're going to fight till whoever can win. It's not a winnable war for them. It's not a winnable war for us. So we'll always have to tangle until we can find a way that we can all feel tired and go to a resolution. And I think putting pressure on everyone, putting pressure on the government of La Republic is going to help us to come to that resolution quickly. So please do your part. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, SOS Zama. Commander Fombat, you are one of the leading commanders in the Atlantic, in this southern zone, the Atlantic zone. We are drafted tonight to uplift house of the soldiers in home front in the Atlantic zone. They need to hear from you. What are your expectations after this draft? What do you expect from you that you think you can give to the Amazonian people? Yeah.
Thank you, Comrade Paul. It is quite simple as ABC. When you look at the street across Amazonia, look at how our people are agitated. They are sick and tired of the excesses of these terrorists parading our streets. Look at this case in point that we are talking about in Bamenda, where these thugs open fire and kill a bike rider and the mother on the bike. Look at the streets, how the streets were full. Agitation. Say, for example, that we have AKs littered everywhere. Do you know that that would have cost La Republic? So there is only one. Look at what happened in Buea. Look at how our people mounted the street. They are sick and tired of this barbarism from French Cameroon. They are sick. Sometimes they cannot speak because they are armless. They don't have the means to defend themselves. That is why some of them will wax themselves like a dog, a tail between their legs, and just stay quiet, stay mute, and dance to the tune of La Republique because of that fear. What I expect after this draft is that our people should come out en masse. I'm the victim. Our people on the ground are victims. Sometime on this IG briefing, I said the international community and La Republique should expect to know that there will be a time when guns will be everywhere on ground zero. And if we have guns everywhere at the home front, trust me that La Republic will think and think again. They will have nowhere to hide in our territory. Because this agitation that we see on the street, our mothers protesting with peace plans, it is not for nothing. Young boys on their bikes, hell, Bamenda shut down, hell, we are shut down because of one person that was brutally assassinated by these terrorists, by these thugs. It's not for nothing. The people are crying deep in their spirit that diaspora, Ambazonians in the diaspora, please support this. We need what it takes to defend ourselves. We are sick and tired of this treatment. We are sick and tired of our people being killed, massacred on a daily basis. So we have only one thing to do: listen to them. They may not say it loudly, but their behavior and their attitude will tell you. If you are somebody that can read within the lines, it is written on the walls. They are telling you directly, in another tongue, that we need what it takes to send these people packing to La Republic or send them 6 feet because they are sick and tired. I think that is my expectation. I want to believe that this expectation will be met in the course of this.
Yeah, Commander Fombat, that is what do you expect of the people now? We have stubborn places like Victoria colonized that have actually been colonized, not even by La Republic, but by the Bulu Beti people. Since 1977, they have it's another recolonization by the Beti Bulu people because of the oil in Victoria. Sorry. Now they will be drafting for the Atlantic Zone tonight, and Victoria Fako is part of it. I'm sure of that. Now, what do we expect after this draft? Will this again be stepped up to make sure that Victoria comes under total control? Because it's like we are disputing, we are fighting control over Victoria with these Bulu people. What do we expect from Victoria?
Yeah, what we expect from Victoria is not only Victoria. Just like I said, Victoria Boya. In short, 2/3 of Fako is colonized by the Republic citizens. They have taken over all of our land. Our people have sold, giving them all their land. And so they are bent on completely taking over Fako. What we expect after this draft, just like I said, if this draft be fruitful, the ANSC is ready and strong. We have been discussing strategies, but what we lack at the ANSC are the resources. Let our people know. We have seen a few moves in Fako lately. More of those moves will be multiplied. More of them will pop up. There will be no announcement made. We will only surprise like gorillas, and that is how gorillas move. We will not tell anybody because we are sick and tired of always warning people, calling people and warning them, sending them messages. It's like we have to pamper. We are sick and tired of pampering people. A word to a wise, I think, will be enough. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you very much. ANSC, the spokesman is here in the person of Commander Kenneth. What are your expectations for the draft? We know ANC
Yeah,
needs
normal.
phone. What do you yeah?
Yeah, thank
We're
you. Thank
getting
you
you.
once more. Yeah, can you hear me?
5 on 5.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just like for most of the other regions that we've drafted, we're expecting the Amazonians to come out and help our ARFs take out the enemy as soon as possible. We don't have, we are ready. It is our land. We are ready to fight for this land for as long as it takes. But we need the right materials. And for those that are dragging their legs, I have this to say to them. Most of those that are, our ARFs, when we talk with them, you feel their pain. You feel what they're going through. They run around in the bushes. They go around chasing these terrorists from La Republic, and they give their life. They commit their lives to the cause. There are some that have said that even if I have to give my last breath to defend our territory, that's exactly what I will do. And when you hear them say that, and then you come and you find people that when it comes to time of drafting, they sit and they ask questions. It is just heartbreaking. What our ARFs are engaged in, they're engaged in guerrilla warfare. But before they are guerrillas, they are humans. They have families. Some of them have kids. We have to look at the means of providing them with the materials that they need to go after the enemy. We also have to look at that need of maybe trying to give them a little bit of support for themselves. There are some of them that have even said that, if we were to reverse from from the situation we are facing right now, what they are going through, if we have to reverse, the situation that we go abroad and you guys are the ones fighting here, we'll prefer to be sending you people more than what you people are giving us now. Looking at the situation on the ground, looking at what we are going through, we have to live up to those expectations. We have to live up to their expectations. We have to provide them the materials that they need. And, just like we have a lot of these settlers or those that we've just named right now, right from inception, when we started this struggle, our people came out on the streets, they came out with peace plans, and they were demonstrating. They just wanted a peaceful resolution to the problem we are having. But what happened? They were gone down. But when they were protesting, did we find some of these foreigners in the protesters? The answer is no. It didn't concern them. When we call for ghost towns, who are the ones opening their shops? They're the ones. Do they care about it? The answer is no. When our people die, do they care about it? The answer is no. When they burn houses, which houses do they burn? They burn our houses. Do they care about it? They don't give a damn. At this point, I think we should realize that it is not a coincidence. They know what they're doing. Their military know what they're doing. It is for us to step up our game. Look, we have just ourselves. We have to rely on one another. We have to gather ourselves, bring the necessary support, raise the necessary support that we have, and give it to our fighters, to our ARFs. They are going through a lot. If these people are living in our territory, those that are living there, and the foreigners, those we call foreigners, because for now they are foreigners in our territory. We had once said, we are living in a state of war. They should relocate. And maybe they should think of coming to get maybe some sort of residence when we regain our statehood. If we don't need them on our territory, let me say that again. They need to obey the ghost towns. And for those, I think we're talking about, there was an issue we talked about, the issue of the taxes, that there are some taxes. It wasn't long ago that we knew that public bought some of these things and gave to some of the civilians to be plying the road so that they should do what? Use them to defy our ghost towns. Some of them have been done intentionally by cars that the public bought and gave them over to their own civilians or to some individual, and with specific instructions. If you're found on a Monday driving around in a taxi or doing whatever, well, they have the ARFs. They have specific instructions. They'll know what to do to whatever car or what the car you're driving around in. So, Amazonians, we're calling on. Pardon? Yeah. So we are
Yeah,
calling
so
on our citizens.
that's very simple.
Yes. So we're calling once more on our citizens. Please, dip your hands deep into your pockets and help those the men and women we have down there that are fighting for our territory. They go through a lot on daily basis, and if we want to go back and regain our homeland, if we want to go back to a free Amazonia, please let's help them out in this draft tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Commander Kenneth. I'll go to Commissioner Willie. Commissioner Willie, the Atlantic Zone will be drafting today. We have seen images of so many La Republic terrorists invading forces in Amazonia sent to visit Ekema. And then we saw another controversial picture of child soldiers. A child, that kid, I don't think that child is up to 15 or 16 years in a military school somewhere in Douala. What does that tell the Amazonians who are determined to fight till the end? What image does it paint to the international community? What does it tell of the remnant of the invading terrorist forces in Amazonia? Commissioner Willie, please, it is something that we must talk about. When I see children like that in a military school, it means there is something happening in La Republique. And that simple image speaks a lot. So please, can you tell us what is going on? Yeah, Commissioner.
Yes.
Okay, Mahmoud, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, sorry,
God.
there's a noise from the background. Yeah. Yes, Comrade Paul.
Okay.
Before I go,
Hold on.
Please, Patty, please, can you mute the SOS? I think we have background noise from the
Just
SOS.
call
Can
me.
you
Just
mute
call
it,
me.
please? Or SOS, if you can get us, please, can you mute? Okay, Commissioner Willie.
yes. Thanks for giving me the floor, Comrade Paul. Actually, before I begin to dance around the circle, let me go straight to the point. One of our colleagues made a statement in here that that I'm not going to repeat, but I want to clarify something in the air. We are not begging Cameroon government for negotiation. We are not begging them anything. We are not begging them to come to the table, to come to the chair, to come to anywhere. We're going to fight them and fight them. We have home advantage already. They invaded our land. They are thieves in our land. We have to fight and fight and fight and drive them out of our land. We are not negotiating nothing with them. We are not begging them. If they are doing any negotiation or anything, that's not my business or our business. That's the business of President Dr. Samuel Takwe Kome. He's the one that will be talking about negotiation and dialogue or anything. Me, as the Commissioner for Home Front, alongside all the restoration forces for Home Front, we are ready to fight and die for this revolution. But before we die, we make sure that we die with millions of Cameroon army and millions of their people as well. You're not going to invade our land, kill our women and children, burn our houses, and you ask us to begin to talk politics with you. No, we're going to fight and fight. Look, Paul, I have nothing to lose, okay? When I was born, this Cameroon army, they entered inside our house in Mafe, put me on the ground in the mud, messed me up, put my father, who was a quarterhead, messed him up. So we have nothing to lose. They are the ones who have something to lose. We have nothing to lose. We're going to fight and fight. And Barzona will have nothing to lose. Period. We have oil, they are stealing the oil. We have petrol, they are stealing the petrol. We have education, they stole the education. All those, our brothers and sisters in the street, those are university graduates. My brother went to school, did not have any job. My sister went, did not have any job. So why do I worry myself? I will just fight, because fighting is the job. Fighting in Barzona is a job. Period. So if Cameroon government think that we are coming to beg them, negotiate, whatever it is, it got 0, 0, 0. We are not begging them. We are not asking for their opinion. When it comes to this war, as you can see, when it comes to this war draft, we we are calling everybody to come on the table to support his or her county. And why we are asking you, when they say world draft, money for world draft, let me tell you how the money will be used. The money for world draft will use some of the money to feed the people who are resisting the enemy on the ground. How your money will be used? The money that you put to support Amazon Restorational Forces, we used to buy medication. Some of them have malaria or any other typhoid. We used to buy medication to support them. So if you want to support, you can bring your money, you put it in for world draft, you make a statement that this money I want it to be for medication. Medication to give the Restorational Forces who are fighting and the civilian population. World draft means what? We have to keep our people intact, both civilian and the fighting wing intact, for us to resist the enemy for a long period of time, forever. So when you are putting your money is not just going to go say, let's go buy weapons. No, the weapons that we are getting from inside Ambazonia, 99% we are getting from the Cameroon army. We are killing them and seizing their weapons. If you can see, our Restorational Forces have demonstrated over and over. The highest production of weapons in Ambazonia is the Cameroon army. If you look at it, look at the guns we have now. All those guns are seized from Cameroon army. So I want to give you the reason why you should draft. It's not about just to take my money, no. I want to explain how your money will be used. It will be used for feeding. We will use it to feed some papa and mama on the ground that don't have energy to stand on their own. We have to support them to stand, to resist the ghost town. We use it to assist. Resisting ghost town is part of the war. We use some money to buy medication for our fighting Restorational Forces on the ground. We use money to give them some money to hold for themselves. That way the enemy cannot buy them. Cameroon government cannot come and be pinching money behind to buy them. That gives them self-confidence so they can buy. They have purchasing power to buy their own thing inside Ambazonia and eat, to fight and resist the war. Sometimes we give them money so they can use it too for themselves. Sometimes give their wife, mommy, hold this $1 or hold this 500 francs. Why I go to the battlefield to fight the enemy? That's why we ask you to. That's the reason we are giving. Why you should support the revolution and support to draft. Now, we use some of the money to make shelter. Some people that have messed up the house, the army have burned their houses. If you give that money, we can use to buy interpolice so that a family of 5 can be inside. And when they're inside there you give the courage of the people to resist and they see why they are fighting. That when they were down, you put money to bring them up. When they fell down, when they were kicked down, or when they were burned down by Cameroon army, you put your $1, your $2, your $3, so we can build them a small man house so they can stay there again and resist the enemy over that ghost town. Yes, that helps. Now, if you put your money, what do we do again? We use your money for fortification. We use it to fortify our Restorational Forces. We send educational programs. We send tactical programs. We send tactical videos. We make them drilling sessions. We make the audios. We make them videos and send to them. That's why we ask you to put your money. When you put your money, what do we use it for? We use it for logistics, to transport them. Sometimes the Cameroon army will come and shoot the civilian. Our Restorational Forces will put them inside a motorcycle or anywhere they have to carry the person and transport them to the hospital. Because the presence of our Restorational Forces are all over the place, it makes Cameroon government army not to penetrate to certain localities. If not, they could have wiped all of us out. So that's where your money comes in place. That's why we're asking your money. Now, we use your money for self-empowerment on the Restorational Forces on the ground. So they have a woman, the Restorational Force have a wife who have 3 kids or 4 kids. It will be difficult for the Restorational Force to go look for food, to go to the farm, and then the kids come and feed the wife. That your $1 can say, brother, hold this $1. Eat 50, eat half of it and give half to your wife and go back to the battlefield. That is why your money is important for us to use. Overall, the money that you give is a pride to show that you're an Amazonian. It's a pride to show that, yes, in the time of war, I stood up. It's to show that in the time of war, I too, I made a difference. You do not have to go to the battlefield to fight, but your money alone can push us forward. That's why, under the leadership of President Samuel Sarko Ikome, is inviting you to come today and draft, come and pay as little as $1,000. It will kick us further. If you don't have money, if you have $50, $1, $6, $10, 5 of you can put the money together. 5 of you, if you broke, 5 people can put money, everything is $10. Say on behalf of this small junkie group, now our own small thing, when I send them in, we're not going to give them a name and no one give. We will register them down. It will help them to go a long way. Sometimes women they operate you 5 picking them. It will help. Now, Paul, let me come to your question. As you talk of the people, whether Bulu people or whatever, we are not fighting Bulu. In this war, we are not fighting Bulu. We are not fighting Bulu. We are fighting anybody that go against Ambazonia rules and regulations. If we give our goals down, if you respect it, fine. If you don't, you pay the consequences with your life or with your price. So we are not coming to say you are bull, you are not bull. If you're on the
No,
ground, we say goes down. Few of the
Commissioner,
youth, you are happy.
Commissioner, you did not get the question. Commissioner, you did not get the
Sorry,
question. I was talking
yes,
about the child
yes.
soldier. Yeah, the child
Okay, sorry.
soldier, the picture of the child soldier circulating speaks volume to what is happening in the
Okay,
La
now,
Republic
yeah, sorry,
military.
Comrade Paul. I was carried away to meet the need of my people first. Charity begins at home. Now, when you talk of
Thank
child
you.
soldier, that's foreign news. I'm not a diplomat. I'm not a law organization. I'm not a law-making people. I left those child soldiers thing for people in the whatever the legal department to do. But as to make a long story short, anybody that comes inside Ambazonia, whether you're 1 year old, you carry a gun, we're going to shoot you and kill you. Period. If you come to kill our people inside Ambazonia with a gun, with a uniform, we are not going to say you are child, you are not child. We are not in the field to measure your age. No Ambazonia Situational Force have been asked to measure your age. When you come with a gun to kill us, you don't know you're a child. If you're a child, stay in your mother's house. Once you enter the battlefield, you are a soldier. So this is an order for all restorational forces. We do not give a damn whether you're a child soldier or not. That child soldier thing, please, come report with all respect. I don't, you can carry to the Republic. Whether they recruit child soldier or they don't
Yeah,
recruit child soldier, that's not our problem. They are recruiting child soldier
yeah.
or not. That's not our problem. We're going to shoot anybody enter inside our land. That's what I can tell you. Sorry to be honest.
Thank
If
you,
you're a child, don't carry a gun and come.
No, thank you, Commissioner Willie. Yeah, what I wanted to say in relation to that picture is La Republique are desperate. It shows that their recruitment strategy has failed because we keep exposing those that to the land beyond on weekly basis. So people are afraid to even join their military. People are afraid. So now they recruit children to replace or to send them to Ambazonia to tell you that the war is really active in Ambazonia, to tell you that we are doing it on daily basis. They will not show their people on their CRTV, on their Equinox, and whatsoever. They will not show their people. It is only on the IG defense briefing that we will put their pictures every Saturday. They will tell their families that they have deserted. They will tell their families that, oh, these ones, they are still in the battlefield of which they have gone. The Ambazonia Restoration Forces have put them in their right places. So their people are afraid to even join their ranks. Now they recruit children. I think that is a simple message that the world has to understand, that the world has to know why La Republic is recruiting children in the name of military. So, fellow Amazonians, I think we are moving in the right direction and in the right pace. I think we have some few minutes left because we'll be entering the studio. The studio will be taking over for the pre-draft show. SON Zama, I think we'll need a word from you. Please, I think we'll go just 2 minute round up for everybody. SON Zama, you have been silent for a while. What do you have to tell the Ambazonia people as we prepare for the upcoming Atlantic draft and the strategies of the Defense Department, which the public has to know? We know we have strategies that the public has to know and the ones that are reserved for personnel. The microphone is yours, SOS.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Paul and Comrade Fombat and Comrade Kenneth. And I really want to thank all of you for taking the time to help people to understand what is at stake in this fight. Day in, day out, you sacrifice your life, your time, your money, your energy, and family just to keep this fight, to have our citizens defend themselves. We are asking and pleading with all those who are still sitting on the fence and not doing anything for our people to at least, for once, in God's sake, do something for our people. We are pleading on our behalf of the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. We are not an aggressive force. We are not going out to do an offensive against the enemy. We are basically doing a defensive war, which is a right by international standard. We have a right to defend ourselves. So I don't think you should worry that somebody will come tomorrow and say, "Oh, you contributed to fight a war." No, every war, everywhere that is fought by an aggressor, the gains of an aggressor should not stand. That stand should be challenged at any given time. Every war that has been fought has always been based on that. We have to understand. I know our people are very intelligent people. They know a lot about history. They know a lot about all the things that happen in the world. But this is our own time. This is our own history, and you are part of the actors in that history. You will have to make it or marry it, because your ability to contribute to this war is going to affect how the outcome is. So take your time this time. Don't care what I say, what I mean. Please look at our citizens back home. Look at the suffering. Look at the hardship. They've literally become destitute. We have thousands of them in Ghana, thousands of them in Nigeria, thousands of them dying in the seas, thousands of them dying in the bushes in Panama. Some of them died in Antigua last time. When are we really going to stand up and say,
Yeah.
yes, I'm here to help? Let's do our part. And this is that time that we have to do our part. Think for yourself. If you were in that situation, what would you do? We are lucky that we found ourselves here. And that's why the diaspora has always been there for every war and every time. The Americans fought the war against the British. They had a lot of Americans who were out in Europe who were supporting the war. They had the Mexicans. The Mexican War was defeated, was fought by a lot of the Mexicans who supported the war. The Ugandans, the Rwandans, they fought the war and won the war because of their diaspora. The Jews fought the war and winning because they are the diaspora. Israel as a country itself cannot really stand without the diaspora. So we have to do what we must do as a citizen of Amazonia, as a citizen of a common Africa, that our own people are dying, and it's our responsibility. It's no other person's fault. It's our responsibility to face that task and take it at hand. Thank you. I know you will do good. You will do good by Amazonia, and you will do good by the Africans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, SOS. Over to you, Commander Fombad. Your last words before we go. We hand the mic to Commander Kenneth. Now, Commander Willie.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Paul. Thank you, SOS. Thank you, spokesman for the ANSC, Commander Kenneth. Thank you, County Coordinator and Home Front, Commander Willie.
Commissioner.
You know, Commissioner Willie, one thing I just want to beckon our people is they have heard, we have all heard now, and we have been listening on other platforms of the need of ground zero. The needs are enormous. War is expensive. It is not war that we declared. It is a war that we are forced to fight. We were not prepared for this war. When it comes to your home, you don't need to go for training. Because by the time before you go for training and come back, the enemy has devoured all your family. So at that time, whatever tool we find, we have to confront the enemy. It's just like a hen defending her kids from a hawk. That is who we are. And at this point, it is only us to defend us. It is only us to help us defend us. Whether you are on home, we are at home front, you are anywhere in the planet Earth, in as much as you are a citizen of Amazonia, your contributions are very, very important. We don't play with their contributions. Their contributions are vital and needed at this acceleration period. This is the darkest time, and it's often said that the darkest time is towards dawn. We are almost at the end of the tunnel. Dear people, come in there, let us wage it. We must accept it. It is befallen us. It is befallen us. There is no way we can escape. There is no way we are not ready to surrender. We are not ready to give our birthright. We are not ready to sell our country. We are not ready to sell our rights to foreigners. It has never happened in history. That is why Ukraine is up and waxing against Russia, because Ukraine is not ready to surrender. That is why the Ukrainians are scattered all over the world, and they are donating without fatigue, without complaining. They are donating because they know that self-defense is a universal right. Amazonians, it is your right to defend yourself. It is your right to support your people, to defend your people. It is your right to defend your communities. So we are expecting you, come tonight. Come in there with a soda name. If you don't want to come in there, get to the donation link that would be circulating on all platforms, on all Facebook forums, on all meetings between now till the end of year, and make sure you get their name on the right side of history. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commander Fombat. We move over to Commissioner Willie. Your last words for the evening.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are rounding up to the end of this show, and we want people to know that we're at war. I will speak to them in our normal language. Mommy and Papa them, we don't get we are brother them for in-house, say they don't talk, don't explain to now in many capacity. You go choose how it doesn't be important for you. You go use them as my brother comrade somebody talk for you. We did for war. Once if enter your house, you go throw only two for your hand. Thank you, comrade Fombat, for that language. Any two for your hand, you go try with this man is giving more for house. We no surrender. Now, when they will come for activity for home front, I mean them and Papa them, I want to tell now, I know go hide them for now, go open them for now. If enemy want to make here, as on the worker for ground, if you say you know you should carry water even for bottle as you worker for ground day. We dey for war now. If you understand Bazonia, why are they gonna Bamenda, Boya, Victoria, Manfi, carry water for bottle? Sometimes we go road go lock, for example. You are going to play road on lock. You go say, hey, Mama, me, I begin for drink water. That small bottle water for your hand, it will help you. You don't go and say, carry me small chop. If they carry picking it close. Even at two. If you get for carry one close, carry two. For your own self, if you go even a market, carry even one extra wrapper. Because at any time for war zone, anything will happen. So now we can tell you, if you want to road on lock, go you back. If you want, you hear gun, run go for other direction, no go for go see what will happen for that place. When Cabro am the day for some place, when I go run go for the when something happen, when I run go for go look am, you should be a victim. Oh no, not one time do. We are going for this war and for protect and for assist and for defend the homeland and home front. Make we get our own country again, we go call them home. Make we get place where we go feel laugh again, we go feel chop again, we go feel home meeting them again. Where nobody go take a rubber from Poto. Mommy and Papa them. When I know what about anybody with the Kafuka Helena. Now you and we will go hell with ourselves first. We go first fight hell with ourselves first. Why we pray for God or pray for Allah or pray for any our ancestors and they come for help with. As we fight, we go fight to go reach the promised land. We've already reached. So those who they work with the Republic as agents them. Me I know go war now. I know go war now. But you trouble enemy, you go die with enemy. So we live on for the hand. President Sarko agreed on all for ground day. In the tank now, First Lady, woman, it agreed enough all the women there for ground day. Same one stay strong. I see the help for fit the president for cook for you. The guy did the protect the advice when I took for ground day too. We're gonna stand now husband them. The one that they carry gun or one that they carry gun, they gonna stand with them all. With the tank now, and to God be the glory. When I will get older from us. Now, mommy them, papa them, last but not the least, when I will take information from ABC TV. We come party go can talk for una every time. Dr. Martin go can talk for una every time. And for them will get authentic information. We will come out every time when I will hear them on ABC. When I'm not going to listen for no other TV news anywhere or anything. Charcoal radio could update una for anything for ground. When I take them serious, because you want an authentic message, we go hell una. If you lost information, you lost your life. May una stay blessed as God will protect we all. We thank una for una savings and sacrifices. They want to stay blessed for all resistance forces. Those who did their life, Those who they don't go before us, and those who they don't join us. We thank those who they come out Douala and Yaoundé if we can't join for 5 for instance, Bazonia. Some were brothers the way they be wrong for Douala and run go for Yaoundé. They reach for Yaoundé, they maltreat them poorly for Yaoundé. They don't run come back for instance, Bazonia. They take more than 700 who don't count time for the past week. With the time that they don't come back for join the struggle. I would hope say we're a student person and keep eye for them. And when I make them, may they put paper for enemy eye. They're gonna stay blessed. Over to you, come report. Signing out.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Willie. Thank you very much for those uplifting words. Commander Kenneth, we are here to hear from you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, before I mean, let me just start by saying, we've come a long way in this work. We've achieved a lot during this period, and all of this was due to our determination and resilience. Now, there is something in a war which most military people, which most army in the world are afraid of. It is the people's power. The people's power. Most military, they are afraid of the civilians when they are together. Now, Ambazonians, I think from the onset we had this. We were all united. We all stood for one thing. We all stood for our freedom. That is still the case today, despite the fact that we have some few people who are out there trying to sabotage our cause, those that are with the enemy. I think what I will say is 90% of us, we still stand for our freedom. We want our freedom. When the enemy came in, because if we're looking at war, there are two strategies in war. One is defensive and one is offensive. I think when these people came into our land, they realized that we were together. The strategy they came in with was shock and awe. They thought that maybe killing our people, destroying our houses, burning our villages, maybe we're going to afraid and we're going to give in. But when they saw us united in the struggle, that's when they went back and they decided to come up with another charm offensive. And not only charm offensive, they decided on the bait and bleed method in which they were to make us and maybe bring in a few of their people, release some prisoners, let them come and cause some havoc, let the people turn against us, maybe let us fight among ourselves. That is not working. That is the reason why their military is very, very frustrated today. Their morals, we cannot just talk about that because for that, we see them everywhere they go around. They are not happy people. There was another strategy in that of attrition. I'll talk about that next time. But what we should get from here is this. The enemy, those that are among us, the military, whatever story they are telling you, they have not withdrawn to their barracks. They have just embarked on a charm offensive. They are still the very people burning our houses. They are still that same military. Even if they come to talk to us, because some of the time, most often we hear them, like one person that was out there in maybe in Bamenda talking about the mosque or something of that sort. Which language is he using? He's trying to talk to us in English with a heavy French accent. Now, we should understand that all what they're doing, they're still the same people that turn around and burn our houses. They're still the same people that turn around and shoot our civilians. They're still the same people that turn around and rape our women. The war is not yet over. Whom are they fighting? They are fighting Ambazonians. They are not fighting the ARFs. They are fighting all of us. It is time for us to tell them that the unity we had at the beginning of the war, we still have that unity today. As we are standing together, Ambazonians, the Republic military is nothing. They are not threat to us. We can get this thing done in the shortest time possible. We are calling on each and everyone, please turn up for the draft. We need you to turn up for this draft tonight. If there is any time that we've ever thought of maybe sitting on the bench, this is not the time. This is the time that we should come out, help the men and women who are helping us down there to kick this enemy out of our land. We should give them all what they need. We have been doing our best at the level of the ANSC. We have been delivering this year. I think our results are there for all to see. If we go around, there is no time we come for a defense briefing without letting you people know that maybe they dropped, maybe this number of Republic forces they dropped. So at this point in time, we are telling each and everyone, please show up for the draft. Please dip your hands deep into your pockets. Help this government. This is the government that the people on the home front rely on. There's no other government. If some other person is telling you something out there, it's a lie. We talk to our people each and every day. I talked about somebody that I called after a long time, and he asked me this question: to which group do you belong? I said there is just one government, the government of Dr. Sako. The person stayed for some time and he said yes. If you find 8, 9 Amazonians, if you find 10 Amazonians, if all the 10 are not for the interim government of Dr. Sako, at least 8 or 9 of them are for the interim government of Dr. Sako, which means we have the support of the masses. It is left for us, the diasporan, to make the right choice. Support this government, support your country, support this particular Atlantic. We need to get weapons back into the hands of our fighters. We need to help them complete the job. For those that came in tonight, we want to thank our televiewers. And for those that are already on the draft, please, we want to tell you to call. Maybe just we share the link, call more people to come in. And let's convince more people, those that are out there, call them to come and draft, because that is the only way for us to. We have to shoot our way to Buya. That's the only way. We are not relying on anybody. There's no international community. There's nobody we are relying on, because they have got their own problems. They only come to us when they want to get something from us. These people are trying to kick us out of our territory. What they're doing is they're trying to squeeze our necks. Bring their own people into Amazonia, let them buy land, let them go around, own everything, so that by the time that you are coming back from diaspora, you have nothing to go back to. That is what they want. They want to push us all out. They live on our resources. Those that are in Yaoundé, those big buildings, everything they have there, that is money that comes from Amazonia. We are capable of developing our place. They go, the big guns in the so-called La Republic, they send their children. When they come back, they let them stay in the country because they're making billions there. They push us out of the country. So that and by the end of the day, what will they do? They take our land. We don't have to allow that to happen. We cannot pass this fight on to another generation. We'll be wicked if we do that. Look at your child. Let's look at those little kids running around. We should not let them go through that burden. Never. Let us take it upon ourselves. This is the never again generation. We have to fight this war and get it done once and for all. Thank you, Comrade Paul.
Yeah, thank you very much, Commander Kenneth. Thank you all my wonderful panelists for this wonderful show. As the chairman of the Kumba LGA, I'll be making a special appeal to the Amazonian people. The Atlantic zone is drafting tonight. I know sometimes you are disappointed that Kumba is no longer the way it used to be. Yeah, after going through a lot of disorganization, a lot of impact from the coup plotters, it really did there with us. Meme counties did suffer a lot because we got almost 60% of those who left us joined the coup plotters. So let me be frank and straight and truthful. It really did affect our manpower financially, morally. So for over a year now, we've been struggling now to regroup and to build. We are really on the ground working. We have over 5 or 10 camps, which we have to rebuild. Some are already active and working. Some still need our assistance. So please, whatever you have, join the president tonight for the Atlantic Zone draft. We really need it. Be it $5, be it €1, whatever amount, please. It is a drop that forms the ocean. Tap, 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 and the bucket will be full. So I'm pleading to all Ambazonians, please. If you know me, I've been consistent in this revolution since 2016. Please support me tonight. Support the Meme County. Support the Kumba LGA. Support the Atlantic Zone. We need you. We need your support. We need your assistance. Please join the Zoom link. The president will be there. He will be addressing the entire nation. Please, fellow Ambazonians, us alone, we cannot do it. Us alone, we cannot do it. We need you. Before you ask your question, please, don't say, what have the nation done for me? Ask yourself, what have you done for the nation? So I'm making this special appeal on behalf of Kumba, on behalf of Meme, on behalf of the Atlantic Zone. Please, nothing is too small. Is it €1? Convert it to the colonial CFA. It's 650. It can do something to a soldier. It can maintain a meal a day for a soldier. Please come out and march. Join the Zoom link. Keep whatever you have. It is very, very important. Everything is going to the federal government. It's a federal draft. Because from there, we used to have a lot of confusion over who took what, who never took what. I am very happy at the new strategy, the way the federal government is being run, the way finances are being run. There is no more embezzlement. There is no more personal account. Everything goes in there and comes out. It means there is one channel going in and one channel coming out. Before it comes out, we are sure that it is going to bear fruit. Before it comes out, we know it will not come back void. It means what it is going out for, that purpose must be accomplished. So please, fellow Ambazonians, we cannot leave our president alone. We cannot leave our county chairmen alone. We cannot leave, and above all, we have the chair, Dr. Beatrice Eporte. I think we have her in the Atlantic Zone, Kupe Manenguba. We cannot leave her alone. We cannot leave the vice president alone. We cannot leave the chief of staff, Dr. Yaya, alone. We cannot leave Professor Anyim alone. Please come out, join us. Kumba needs you. Kumba is the center. Everybody knows. Everybody. You listening to me now, you have passed through Kumba in one way or the other. By school, maybe your in-laws, whatsoever. You must have passed from Kumba to Bamenda. You must have passed from Kumba to Buya. Anywhere. Please, we need your assistance tonight under the canopy of the Atlantic Zone. The firepower must increase. The firepower must be revitalized. We must bring back the glorious days of this war. And I promise you it will start in Kumba if we get a positive response from you. Fellow Ambazonians, this is your host, Paul Nilo, for the Ambazonia Defense Briefing. I want to thank our host, Tapadi, who he's tireless. The entire ABC team, they are tireless. Mayor Kari, who is our moral support, our technical advisor, our undersecretary, Pastor Commando, Undersecretary Oben, the chairman of the board of ABC, Comrade Amos. I want to thank you guys all for your support to see that Amber Defense Briefing. And you, our faithful listeners on home front and in the diaspora, continue to share. Next Saturday is another. So I hand the mic, I hand my position now to Tapadi, back to the studio. Please see you in a GP with the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency, Dr. Samuel Ekome Sako. God bless you.
No.
Voilà. Not active than this.
caterpillar this way will spoil them. Now in this, they still there. They don't make more than 30 minutes. More than 30 minutes. They still there for Wainama. Ambush for Wainama. Lead by Colonel Dotijo. And the caterpillar this. And the caterpillar this. We don't jam them fine. ARF them. ARF. Now with this Wainama. Today not today. Ambush unit for Wainama. Lead by Colonel Dotijo. Lead by Colonel Dotijo. And then this. One live video. Don't really spoil the caterpillar. Captain Yoko Duma did it live. Live.
Na Brigadier General Wonyo live 2022. Yes, we General Wonyo.
Aku sini no. Wah. Konai.
So, Shik no day. Taonyo and Colony Cross.
The first one no stop.
Yes.
The first one no stop.
With this life. What's up? So now that ekelebe than this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They go here, there, mommy.
8, 9, 10.
Life. General Wonyo life, Colony Cross and the Scott. And then that, we don't do them. Shake in no day. Yes, when I hear. Shake no day. Life.
Yeah.
When I come now, when I'm mommy.
Confirm.
General Wonyo, Colony Cross and the Scott. General Malians, shake no day. Ambush unit. From soap. And I 11 more to that. Yes. Shake no day.
You don't stop holding it.
Now, yes. One more today inside one more today inside water now so. Yes. Let the pack fine. Shake in no day. Life. Shake in no day. Shake no day. Yes, now one more to that for inside water. Shake no day.
No.
Voila. Now that tips in this. Now caterpillar this way will spoil them. Now in this. They still there. They don't make more than 30 minutes. More than 30 minutes.
Good evening, fellow Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to this very important broadcast, and I'm sure you've been enjoying defense briefing this evening with Paul Nilong and the esteemed commentators, Commander Willie, SOS Zama, and the rest. Congratulations for the wonderful work you're doing. The defense briefing was very interesting, so we could not interrupt it. I wanted to make mention for those who are supposed to be connecting with us now Barrister Fru, Barrister Tim, and Barrister Mbesa, that our system cannot carry more than 7. We already had 7 people on the console, 5 for defense briefing, and trying to connect the two studios. So try to connect now. Let's save some time. Let's save some time before we begin the program this evening. Please don't call. I am already live. Just try to connect. If you cannot connect, type and I'll follow up. There are a lot of other machines, and I'm connecting like 3 different machines with the same system, and if you're calling, you might just be interrupting us. We will kick off the pre-draft program, but those who are organizing the draft, we're going to suspend a big part of our discussion. So at any point you feel that you want us to, or you want to intervene, please indicate. We'll be following very closely. You can also share. We understand that a lot of Ambazonians are connected in the Zoom. We have close to 50 Ambazonians already connected. I'm calling on those who are watching us right now on Facebook and on YouTube. You can as well invite people to join. I guess on top of the hour, or by latest 9:30, the draft proper will be commencing. But there's something important you actually saw Comrade Paul there. Pleading, and so they're sitting for you to come out today to draft. I will just only want to add, I want to add something very important and to give a reason. Okay, Barrister Fru just indicated his code is not working. Okay, I'm sending to you another code now. Barrister Tim, Dr. Ellat, you are of the Atlantic and you have to speak. Let me know if you are there now to connect. Indicate any need your please. If there's anybody in the county, we've been trying to get officials from the county all week long to no avail. If there's anyone in the county who is available right now, please indicate and we'll give you opportunity to speak to your county and to Ambazonians. Okay, so that they can join the president in this laudable effort. I was about, don't mind, I might be intercepted a couple of times because I'm trying to get the setup for many others who are working. Okay, Barrister Fru, you have a new code. Try to connect now. Sorry, your code has been given to. Okay, Barrister Fru, you have a new code. Try to connect and let's see if you can come in now. If you don't connect, if you're unable to connect, you may want to verify your internet. I think we had that same issue with Comrade Zama this evening. You may want to check your internet and try to connect again, please. Dr. Ellat, if you're already in the Zoom meeting, try to connect again, please. Barrister Ghana, if you are there, you can connect for us to begin. We have just a few minutes. I don't think we have more than 30 minutes for any discussion. As soon as the officials indicate, we'll have to interrupt this production. Okay, I was about saying that just to add my voice to what Comrade Paul was soliciting, just to say this is very important for us to note. Comrade Paul was pleading not because he needed the money for himself. Comrade Paul was pleading because of the importance. But I want to add something. Sometimes you are donating to a vision because you want to know who is the leader of that vision, the head of the vision. I like to remind Ambazonians every day I have the chance to. When the president took over office in March, I hope I'm not mistaken, in March 2018, you can also verify the history for yourself. We are all writing this history. For the first time in the history of Ambazonia, we had real army, Prior to that time, from 2017, we had people from Norway claiming brief have been briefed, and it was all Photoshop. When you verify the coding of the images, you see they picked images from different places, photoshopped, and we're talking all around the place. I said the other day on TV that a war like this is not about big mouthing. When we were commemorating the passing of Insubu, you could see a leadership of the Bui County that is still, we are still enjoying the fruits of Insubu's leadership even until today that we speak to you. Have you ever thought for 1 minute that President Sako lost the vote between himself, Krizano, Bob Gahamani, and probably Metin Taka? Have you ever thought for 1 minute where we would have been as a people today, looking at the way things are unfolding? So why should we donate to this vision that is masterminded by this visionary? He started ASC. ASC achieved something that there was a lot of corruption with the gear ones and all the defense contractors that were taking money, the Yingfu Sangons. I knew all of them. I was talking to them. I was in Yaoundé at the time. They were talking to me. All of them know me. And in spite of that, the ASC achieved what no other defense thought or group ever achieved in the history of our nation. In the early 90s, Fonkoji Dinka suggested self-defense or the armed struggle as a way out. That was close to 10 years after he saw that Cameroon was recalcitrant, arrogant, and was not going to give out. Even Biya's proposal of a referendum was just a fraud. He was not very sure about that. That is not even what we wanted. Remember, Ahijo made President Biya the head of a crisis that he created. He called it in the 70s the Anglophone problem. And that's the rhetoric that the media today is forcing the whole world to believe that there's an Anglophone problem. I argue my thesis. I say there's no Anglophone problem. Why is there no French problem? Where the problem in that was with Quebec in Canada was not a Francophone problem. It was a problem of a minority group that felt that they needed more relevance in the system. Less than 20 years after our national territory was invaded, Ahijo fabricated a word and called it Anglophone problem. And the young student that just came from France, Biya, was made a head of the commission. They are doing the same, they're using the same formula today. Bilingualism commission, special commissions, and they put enablers. Crazy men to lead such movements. That was an aside. I said all of that to bring us to a point as to why we have to participate unwaveringly in tonight's draft. Contractors, defense contractors, frustrated the ASC initiative. The president moved into lava storm. You saw what happened into 2019, into 2020, and into 2021. Today we're getting into draft 3. All his initiative. Cameroon was kneeling only 1 year after he took office. They had to be begging to join in negotiations. Enablers within us frustrated it. Cameroon, for the first time, acknowledged that there was a conflict. And the international community was committed to seeing the end of it. Rightfully. Not the clandestine way that Diongute is conniving with his friends to organize conferences in North America and to get people and to force into the minds of Ambazonians a federation or a referendum. That thought is emanating from Diongute's office. Intelligence has it so. In fact, all of his special envoys that came and contacted our leaders have the same narrative. I wish he would have learned his lesson that the Bulu boys have no respect for him. They came out and said his meeting was a nonsense and that Cameroon is not involved with whatever he did with his enablers in Canada. Just to tell you who Cameroon is. So why should we donate tonight? You're donating into someone who has been consistent, who has been unwavering, who is a watchdog to our endeavor to become independent. You do not want to be on the sidewalk when they'll be writing history and there'll be an account that you decided not to participate even after we made the effort to inform you that this is the best decision we can make. We saw on social media an Amazonian wrote a beautiful article to describe something about President Sako, and we thought it was important to put that in an editorial. While you watch it, I'll try to get the panelists ready so we can begin the pre-draft show. Stay tuned.
In tonight's editorial from Amazonia's Library, we have an article titled "Dr. Sako Remains Our Only Hope for a Free Amazonia" by Robert Doe. Precious Amazonians, he starts, "As I wish everyone a happy and productive new year, we must perennially pray and hope that this year will engender a positive milestone in our struggle for genuine freedom and independence from the Beatties. Every Amazonian with integrity must understand that as a people, we cannot equivocate or prevaricate ourselves to Boya. This is especially so when the truth in this revolution is apparent, yet a few of us want to circumvent it surreptitiously." He goes on to say, "I would like to editorialize this short text by posing a question that I have repeatedly asked Amazonians. What are the two things or items that the Beatties have vowed never to discuss within any group of Amazonians? First answer, they will never discuss our separation from them. Secondly, that they will never entertain any talks about structure that is West and East Cameroon." With this in mind, the question is, what then? Did some Amazonians go to discuss and negotiate in Canada with the Beatties? While this is disturbing, what is even more disturbing is that those who went to Canada have supporters among us, sporadically, and their supporters are mounting excuses for them. For instance, some lawyer supporters have characterized the talks as preliminary talks. My question is, preliminary talks that will ultimately engender in what? Our independence? This is very sickening. The Beatties have toed the line and drawn a line, not on the sand but on rocks, that they will never negotiate our separation. Why is that hard to understand? So what will these preliminary talks synthesize to? He goes on to say, "Precious Amazonians, when Western industrialized countries, including some international organizations, insist that the Beatties must engage in serious negotiations with Amazonians, the question is, what does this really imply?" He vehemently believes that serious negotiation is code for the interim government with Dr. Sako as president. Before anyone disagrees with him, he says, answer the following questions. 1. Have the Beatties held talks with Ayabacho? Yes. Have the Beatties held talks with Chris Ano? Yes. Have the Beatties held talks with Dr. Akwanga? Yes. Have the Beatties held talks with Bo Herbert? Yes. Have the Beatties held talks with John Mbakuro? Yes, etc. and etc. La Republic has negotiated with the above Amazonians and even more, either individually or collectively. Question is, what has been the outcome of those negotiations? Zero, of course, he says. The diplomatic world is keenly aware that the Beatties withdrew from the Swiss talks. They are also aware of the semblance of talks in Canada, yet still insist that La Republic must engage in serious talks with Amazonia. That, to him, points to the interim government led by Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako. At this juncture, he says we must accept the following truths about those misguided Amazonians who sojourned to Canada. First, that they are traitors who do not want our freedom for the Beatties, and secondly, that they care more about their bank accounts rather than our collective freedom. Thirdly, that for many years, the political intercourse with the Beatties have confused our fighters and led to the deaths of innocent kids fighting for our country's independence, he says. And the fourth, he says that their actions have prolonged our journey to Buea with devastating effects. The fifth point, he says, lastly, that by dining with the Betis, they have unquestionably declared themselves enemies of Amazonia. Given the above truths, he says, in his opinion, prayers and appeal that all Amazonians should queue behind Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako as he forages our path to victory. This has nothing to do with liking him, but the love for a free nation called Amazonia. Robert Doe summarizes by saying again, Happy New Year, and God bless you and our impending nation Amazonia. With the end of this very personal article from Robert Doe to Amazonians, we've come to the end of our editorial for tonight. If you want more of such articles, kindly visit our website at www.abcambetv.com for more. Subscribe, become a club member, and a part of this winning strategy. Find out payment details on your screen. I'm Star Smart reporting for Undaunted ABC Amber TV.
Good day, good day, good day, fellow Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians. Today na Saturday, April the 15th, 2023. This one now na spokesman Gabonese for the ARF for all the 13 counties, and Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council for home front. Fellow Ambazonians, I come this morning and is sent to the 1% gun salute for all our field marshals, generals, commanders, colonels, and foot soldiers when they fight so hard for defend Ambazonia from the hands of French Cameroon, barbaric and terrorist soldiers sent by Paul Biya, Hitler, Bill Vaudou, Barthélemy, the terrorists sponsored by France and some other criminal Western nations. Fellow Ambazonians, I come this morning to inform all Ambazonians, said today, Saturday, April the 15th, now the D-Day for the athletic draft, where we support the federal government for Ambazonia, for push the war to the next level. Fellow Ambazonians, we know, say French Cameroon, it will declare war on Ambazonians. But now 7 years today, we still fight this war, keep counting. We don't give French Cameroon any second chance. Fellow Ambazonians, I call upon all Ambazonians, all world sympathizers, may we not come together today for support the federal government and for support the federal draft. May we sponsor our ARF and all Ambazonian freedom fighters where they for home front. May we push the fight to the next level. Fellow Ambazonians, we don't lose more than 100,000 Ambazonians. Many, they have a mass grave. They don't burn down our villages. Our borders, they serve for refugees for in and out of the country. Fellow Ambazonians, we're there for the hard way, and it's the only way. Southern Cameroons must be liberated, and Ambazonia must be free. Nothing more, nothing less. I come this morning for plea for all Ambazonians. Say we the fighters for home front will go through difficulties, and we appreciate all Ambazonians whether they try on daily basis for support we for home front. Make we keep on the support we financially. We dedicate our life for defend our people. We call upon all Ambazonians. Say make we come out here, we come in our numbers. Make we draft for the Atlantic County. Make we support, we brave warriors them. We don't determine. Say Buea now find a bus stop. And salute Ambazonia again once more. So when I know this fight, now 7 years still counting, but we go fight until one man standing, nothing more, nothing less. We're gonna struggle by all possible means. All Ambazonians for all over the world, we're gonna come together. We're gonna support the federal system and the federal government for Ambazonia. We're gonna push the fight to the next level. We're gonna come one, we're gonna come all together. Collectively, we go free Ambazonia. Shake Inode, Buea, now find a bus stop. Shall live the struggle. May God bless Ambazonia.
Good evening once again and welcome back. Well, on to another session for tonight, which I could call the most important session of tonight. We're heading for the Atlantic Zone draft for this weekend. But before that,
Oh yeah, and of course that you're ready. The Zoom link is on, and you can begin to make your way there. A lot of people are already there. Information that we gathered shows that more than 50 people are there. That's the information we had for about 20 minutes ago. So ensure that you are there to represent yourself, to represent your county, to represent your local government, and to ensure that your draft is counted. All right, so we have the Atlantic Zone draft. Now, for Atlantic Zone, we have Kupe Monanguber, we have Meme County, we have Ndian, and we have the Fako County. And of course, you can see we are all dressed like the Fako women. And I'm sure that you love our outfits. So this draft is for every one of us. All right. So we are still urging everyone to ensure that they get ready and participate. Participate. Remember what we used to say, drafts like never before. Draft until we drop dead. All right. So let's get ready to get into the Zoom link and the Zoom meeting right now to be part of the draft.
we'll definitely hand over right now to our news director, Tar Party King.
Payment method: www.abcambertv.com/donate. ABC Amber TV payment channels: Cash App 202-650-2216, Zelle 240-486-8768, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. PayPal payments at abcambertv.com. Contact us today. info@abcambertv.com. Facebook, ABC Ambazonia. You can call us on 124-048-68768, www.abcambertv.com. Payment method: www.abcambertv.com.
It would appear that we're finding challenges to get some of the panelists to join us on board. Barrister Fru, you are the only one who is connected. Without any waste of your time, it will be smart for us to begin this discussion. We are unable to get Dr. Elad. We're not unable to get through to Barrister Team. I'm sure he's finding challenges to connect. But maybe we should start in a few minutes from now. I'm sure we will begin the government, the interim government. It is the federal government draft with the Atlantic Zone as the host. Please, I'd like to make this correction again. Lots of people are confusing it. Perhaps you're doing so ignorantly or intentionally. It is not the Atlantic Zone draft. It is the federal government being hosted by the Atlantic Zone. And it's important. This information is quite important. We need to reiterate it to avoid the confusion. There's no need for the confusion. There's sufficient material out there. For those of you watching me in the studio, I'm telling you to, if you're listening now, listen. I've said it a couple of times. It is the federal government draft hosted by the different zones. When the county draft will begin, we will make that stress as well. It is the federal government draft that's hosted by the zones. And so today we have the Atlantic Zone hosting the federal government draft. Thank you very much, Barrister Fro. You're welcome. Amazonians, welcome once again. To those watching us at home front, welcome on Facebook and on YouTube. Very soon we will switch off the stream on social media platforms, and we'll come back live only when the president is about to address the nation. But Barrister Fru, perhaps you want to tell us the significance. We have to suspend. There's a lot in the air. France is now having a strange romance with China. You brought that to my attention, and I followed it up. It's really strange. America, the dynamics in the international community is changing. Many people are making new friends. We may touch a little bit on that, but even before we get into that, that is if we have enough time. You want to tell us the significance why it is important for us to emphasize is the federal government draft, and why the federal government draft. We cannot stop telling our people the importance of that. Thank you for making yourself available, and you're welcome.
Yes, buddy, this is a very great day for me and for all Ambazonians, especially me, because I grew up in the Atlantic zone, and even though I had finished drafting as required, but today I made sure that I did my little bit for, especially for my Tico. Today is a very important day, and it is a day that we have to resurrect all the counties in the Atlantic zone, because this year is a year of acceleration, and that is the importance of this draft. This year is a different year. We keep repeating because we are empowering the federal government to get involved in the fight. The federal government will bring the federal power to empower all the counties so that we can accelerate this fight and hopefully send away the occupier, the enemy, from our territory. Let's not kid ourselves. Nobody's going to do it for us. We are the only ones to do it for ourselves. The world knows that they have ignored us, and we have a duty to resurrect ourselves by ourselves. We have never asked anybody to help us, and the world is looking the other way. Well, maybe it's time for them to start looking at us. If they don't look at us, fair and good. But we are determined to liberate our territory, to liberate our people, to defend our people, to make sure that we protect our people from the onslaught of a country that has used all its resources to buy military wear to fight us. They are taking money from our territory. They are drilling our oil. They are drilling all our minerals and using it to annihilate us. We will not allow that to fly. So I'm calling on all Ambazonians around the world, from the United States to Europe, to Asia, to the Middle East, to South America, Central America, and everywhere around the world, to come to the table with your hands full so that we can liberate ourselves and have our territory and have our country that we call our own. I want also to let the world know that Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, has never been part of La République du Cameroon in history. Let us not kid ourselves. We don't have any aid coming from anybody around the world, but the world is taking our resources. Nobody cares about the inhabitants of the inhabitants who live where they are taking the resources. But we have to wake up and ensure that we liberate ourselves and send everybody that is about to annihilate us out of our territory. Whether the world likes it or not, they will like it when the time comes. Thank you, Paddy.
Yeah, Barrister, thank you very much for that interlude. I'm not sure there is any monologue this evening that would have been better than that. There's something I really want you to explain because I know you have a wider understanding about it. And this has to do the federal government draft and the significance of it. We have discussed that a couple of times on air with you, but then there are still some misconceptions in certain quarters, even within government structures. We think that on a day like this, when the energies are high and Amazonians are glued on their screens, either in the Zoom or Facebook, YouTube, at home front, we think that we would have to seize this chance to explain to Amazonians the rationale behind this. So kindly explain that to us, please.
Yes, Paddy. Normally, the county draft will be going on as planned. Nobody should tell a different story. We are going to draft the county by county draft. We will do the drafting. But this year, we have added the federal government. We have empowered the federal government. The federal government will come to any county that is lacking to empower that county and bring the resources to bear in the liberation of that county. And it will go to all the counties where there is need, because some of the counties have gone dead since the last draft. You draft money, but you are not seeing any action on the ground. I will take my own county, for example, the Mezam County. We drafted $254,000 in 2021, 2022 rather. And up to now, I cannot sit here and tell you what we have done with our draft money. How much we have collected, how much is left uncollected, it remains a story. But that notwithstanding, the federal government will bring its weight to bear wherever there is need. We have to wake up all the counties and all the LGAs. We are going to draft the counties just like we drafted in 2022, just like we drafted in 2021. There is no change. But this year, we have added the federal government so that they can bring more lava to flow from to each of the counties. It is not to suppress the counties, but to add to the counties, to add the power that the counties need. And we'll make these counties that have gone dead to wake up from sleep. Because this is the time that we need to show La Republic that they have to leave now, or it will be too late for them. You see, La Republic is sinking, but that is not our problem. We have to help it to sink. But they must not sink with us. That's why this year is a year of acceleration. We accelerate, meaning that when the president said a year of acceleration, it means that not only the counties will be strategizing and bringing forces to bear, but the federal government will be by your side and to ensure that you succeed in what in the projects you are carrying out. We will not carry out projects for people who are not participating. This time, we will look everywhere to see where you need help. But if you prove to us that you are not fighting for us fighting for the liberation of the Southern Cameroons, whoever you are, if you are fighting for the liberation of the Southern Cameroon, we will fight alongside with you. We will bring the resources to bear. That is why the federal draft is very important, so that the federal government should have these resources ready to come along with you, so that we flush out all the occupying forces and take over our territory. This time we will take territory and hold it. That is the importance of this year. That is the importance of the federal draft first. After this federal draft is over, we will now go into the ordinary draft of county by county. And nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, except that you may be called upon to give a little bit more. But the counties will still draft and have the resources that they have always had. And the federal government will only come to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barrister Flo, for that. So if I listen to you, the federal government has as their plan not just to fight, but to take territories and to hold. Number one.
Yes.
Number two,
yes.
To revive the counties that are kind of sleeping. Ambazonians are willing to do this, and this will entail even more effort. We will be listening to the president tonight, and we believe that every opportunity that he has to speak to us is to give to us, is to expand and expand us on his vision, and to inform us why we need to continue doing what we're doing. We are on the right track. I think Barrister Team has indicated that he's coming in a few minutes. But I'm also telling those who are organizing this Zoom that as soon as you want us to stop, please, we're just entertaining our viewers and getting them ready for the draft. The focus of tonight is the draft. As soon as you want us to stop, do not hesitate to call our attention in that regard. While we try to get the other panelists on board who have indicated that they may be joining, let's enjoy some beautiful music coming from Fako, and we'll come back to brief you on the need for this draft. Stay tuned.
Watu imana moko mwenge luwele loba kolukana jeno manja ekwe yo mwenge iya titi ekema woteka mola njonjo njie mola njonjo moja His Royal Highness Chief Robert Esuka Endeli Chief Esuka Matthias ejo tute oka mola ste nyoki na iya juane usi omwenge si watu kumane meho aduja iya mojoko matute kwe yo mwenge mola samambua kwe yo mwenge alo Professor Nganje oa Dr. Matute David Makongo, ils ont mêlé les jouets only elephant sitting on top of a tree. Say what you want to be? Here, Julian, go on, but think on the way. Here, Molonga, here,
welcome back. I'm sure that was necessary to keep you going as we prepare for this. You know, something I like about they call them the people of the coast. You know, Bakwere, Balondo, Bakosi. They all dressing alike, dancing, and everybody shaking their chest. It's not difficult to get a song or costume that everybody finds themselves inside. I'm not trying to create any form of divide, but I'm saying that for those who are coming maybe from Bakosi, or you're not directly, maybe you are from Bafor and you're not necessarily from Fako, and you felt that the undaunted ladies were not representing you in their outfit, you can do us the due diligence of making sure that when next we're having this opportunity, you're costuming them. This was made possible by some of you, some club and patrons of ABC Amber TV. And I'm sure that you loved their outfits. So we can represent ourselves. This is our opportunity to do so. Barrister Fru, I'm back with you. I hope that you digested the music as well and enjoyed it. Now the concern that we would like to know, when you look at what is happening, defense briefing, we just ended it a few seconds ago. It was so inspiring, so encouraging. When you look at it, do you think that the interim government will be able, it is just, we're in the second quarter of the year, before you know it is June. In fact, in 2 weeks' time, we're concluding the month of April. When you look at what we have in our defense apparatus, Barrister Tim is indicating that he's finding difficulties to connect. Maybe I should send to him another code. Okay, while I'm doing that, can you tell us, is it possible, will it be possible for the interim government to achieve, to what extent would they be able to achieve this project that they are embarking on and getting every Amazonian to believe in? Talk to us, please.
For all of us who listen to the defense briefing today, they should know that that is just an avant-goût. That is just it's still to come. The best is still to come.
That's a foretaste, an appetizer.
That's it. Because we are not yet bringing the lava to bear. Not just yet. But at least La Republic should know that we are coming, and we're coming in full force this year. What we have seen so far does not represent what these two drafts, the county draft and the federal government draft, are going to do in the liberation quest this year. And I was very inspired by the number of La Republic casualties, by the number of armored cars they have lost. You see, you are fighting a people who are not an organized army, who are not a regular army, and you are losing this kind of equipment, losing men, and you think that you want to continue to fight a fight that you have been fighting for 6 years plus. Well, come on. Whatever cosmetic, I heard some cosmetic announcements from La République du Cameroon about how they are going to liberate prisoners and so on and so forth, and that they will not apply the terrorism law on us because we are part of them. Bullshit. Let them do whatever they are going to do. Let them liberate our people. Let them not liberate our people. That doesn't change the picture on the ground. Our defense forces, as you heard that they are briefing today, they are getting ready. They are doing just the preliminary. They are getting ready for the onslaught. And if I were in La Republic, I will ask, given their present quagmire, their present political situation, their present economic situation, they should think twice before they send troops in the territory of the Southern Cameroons and Ambazonia. But of course, these are people who think that we wear second-class citizens under them, and they want to ensure that we come back and be second-class citizens under them. This is not going to work. We are going to do what we have to do to survive. Like I said before, we are on our own. And this thing, as you saw in the defense briefing, that is nothing. The best is still to come. We are ready.
Indeed, the best is still to come, and we are actually on our own. I am receiving indications that Barrister Tim has finally succeeded his way into the studio. For those of you who are watching us, the best is yet to come. Those of you who want to dance before you give your monies today, in fact, anything you want us to do for you today, we're going to do it. I'll be giving you some music again so I can get Barrister Tim ready to join this program. And you can dance. Make your request. It's your day. The federal government is receiving you. We have the day to feel very. Just to tell you how important your participation is. We're taking you again to the Atlantic zone. It's like there are a lot of beautiful things coming from Atlantic, and you want to enjoy this music. Right after that, Barrister Tim will be here to give to us his own perspective as to how tonight should be unfold.
It's Milo's Chisile. Namala e pakokoe. Mama maika we loloteni. Namala e pakokoe. Mama maika we loloteni. Hey, Elia. E pakokote. Modeli mote. Mama really very. Orange tomoto. Namo e pakokote. Modeli mote. Mama really very. Orange tomoto. Namo namala e pakokoe. Mama maika we loloteni. Namala e pakokoe. Mama maika we loloteni. Aruja e pakokote. Oleli mote. Mama really very. Orange tomoto. Namo e pakokote. Oleli mote. Mama really very. Orange tomoto. Namo. Orange tomoto na mama e. Orange tomoleli na ratani really very. E pakokote. Oleli mote. Mama really very. Orange tomoto. Namo e pakokote. Oleli mote. Mama really very. Orange tomoto. Namo namala e pakokoe. Mama maika we loloteni. Namala e pakokoe. Mama maika we loloteni. E pakokote. Oleli mote. Mama really very. Orange tomoto. Namo e pakokote. Oleli mote. Mama really very. Orange tomoto. Namo. Mama, monyengi mami. Mama, indolo yami. Natangi taxi one day, daveki mama Natangi taxi one day, daveki mama E pakokote. moto na mo e pa kokote boleli mote mama I really veille oreje to moto na mo.
Very beautiful song coming there. That's how we have to go back home. You sure want us to go back to Ambazonia Barrister team? Thank you for making it possible to be here. We regret having the first few minutes without you. Before you came in, we've been discussing on the significance of the federal draft and why it is a must. I'm sure you would have watched defense briefing this evening. Maybe you want to tell us welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Paddy. Thank you, Barrister. And thank you for all the viewers. Once more, we're here on another event, the draft, one of the several, and yet it has not yet started. As Mr. Ansor, I just heard his last words. The worst for them is still to come. The best for us is still to come. And so, thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for being here. Be committed in your soul and spirit, and we're going to win the battle, physically, morally, and otherwise. Thank you.
Be committed in your soul and spirit, and we're going to win the battle. So now, before you came, we were about diving into an important subject which is greatly related as to the way the international community is behaving or responding to the wars in the world. France is having a strange romance with China. According to reports, it would appear that Macron, seeking an autonomy in Europe, wants to partner with China to make that vision come to fruition. And they are directly saying that they do not want to be dependent on America. Well, the reason why we are interested in the way things are unfolding is because the same titans, should I say, power mongers, in Africa. We happen to be a part of Africa, our territory. You have these actors there. China is invading every African country and trying to colonize or recolonize or whatever they are trying to do. They want to plant themselves everywhere, either via business. We know China is financing La République du Cameroon to fight us. America is our friend, partner. They're hosting our interim government and doing a lot for us. And we are seeking to even enforce our relationship with America. But France, whom a lot have accused you even coming on this platform, has accused as being the sponsor of the war or the mentor of Cameroon, and our colonizers, indirect colonizers through the Republic of Cameroon, is now having a strange relationship with China. Or trying to introduce or enact a strange relationship with China. What is this whole thing all about? And what do you think the impact could be in the nearby future?
Well, I think seeing what France is doing alongside with China, you have to look at it in a bigger perspective. This is the first time in the history of France-African relations, that the French or France has realized that they've lost everything. Not so much because of Amazonia. They lost Mali. We're not Malians. They lost Central African Republic. We're not Central African Republic. They lost everything. And so they're trying to assert themselves, hoping to be allies even to their own enemies. Because in terms of competition in Africa and around the world, China was never an ally of France. So they are looking for strange bedfellows, which I'm sure will not salvage them. As far as we're concerned, Amazonia, I take the cue from this thing. If you remember what Mr. Wilbur said, he said when Ambazonians, including West Cameroonians, would take up arms, the army of Cameroon plus the one of France combined will not be able to defeat them. And so that is the bare truth. And the Republic has never faced the real facts of what we are. You know, most of us know Foncha. Everybody calls Foncha, oh, we'll give him all this credit. I'm not sure that most of us know that Foncha had a second nickname. He was often called Small No Be Sick. You know, Foncha was a smallish man. And Ahijo, with his long gowns, took him for being small, as being physically small and intelligently small. Now, he was not sick. That was his nature. And if you compare it to our story, to we Ambazonians, 1/4, if at all, or even up to 1/4 of the Republic, yes, we were small, but we're not sick. We are going to overcome, we are going to defeat them. I'm not sure that most of us know. Those of us who grew up in the 60s, 70s, there used to be something they call jiga, a very invisible insect, parasite, that is so small. If it enters your food, I don't remove it, the whole food will get rotten. So small not be sick. France can do what they want. China can do what they want. We are a people who will determine our own future. The position of France, the position of China, the position of whoever, notwithstanding. We'll choose our friends carefully. We'll elect what we want to do carefully. We'll do it strategically, and we'll go on. If that's what France wants, I mean, China would have known by now that they cannot just do what they want to do. Where is the store of arms they sent to Yaoundé? Everything got destroyed. So God is telling them, Monsieur, don't do that. They can only do it so much. Again, in international relations, international politics, our simple claim is a right to self-determination, which right is imprescriptible, which right is universal. The French, whether they like it or not, it will stand. Good enough when the United States, at least France, China, Russia, all of them know that the Americans worldwide, America is the country that has stood up for the right of self-determination of minorities around the world. So their support for Amazonia is not a surprise. It's just a repetition of history. And so France, China, whoever you want to, combine all your forces together, you will not defeat Amazonia. We don't have the money that you have. What we have is the widow's mite compared to what you have. But the widow's mite that will produce here through this draft will move mountains. It is moving mountains. It will make us succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I like the way you concluded the widow's might. The widow's might. There's this young guy who is currently being inspired from Konengi. He's doing a lot of videos and purporting to talk for the people at the home front. He might criticize Ayabacho tomorrow. Someone brought to my attention a video of his, which I want to use your widow's might as a way to cue in, especially now that we are drafting. I'm sure he saw the publicity of our draft. He called himself Deco or something.
Yeah.
That should be his name. And he was
Is
trying
he
to talk
Kondegi?
about... No, he's enhanced by the Kondegi group. He's actually an activist of the Kondegi group. We have confirmed that already. So he was trying to question what we do with draft. Mr. Vice President, do you want us to suspend this now? I heard so. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You want us to suspend now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, we have to suspend now, I believe. Thank you, Barrister team, that you finally made it. But the draft has got to begin. We're literally waiting on them to start. And fellow Amazonians, stay tuned. We're going to be stopping this broadcast now, but we'll come back when the president starts addressing the nation.
Fellow Amazonians, permit me to make a solemn appeal to all of you, all supporters